It's Dario Lee. Yep.
Dario Lee, Mr.
Mhm.
Dario Lee.
Yeah.
And we're gonna just get right into this interview, man. And he has an amazing story that we want the world to know about. We really want the world to know about. All right. So I'm gonna just start off by basically saying, introduce yourself. Let people know who you are.
Okay. My name is Dario Antoine Lee. Um, yeah. um, Ex basketball player. You might as well say professional basketball player. Um, Actor, filmmaker, a survivor. So that's pretty much who I am.
Excellent, excellent. Now, just I want to lay out the basis of what we're gonna talk about today. So basically, what we're gonna talk about is how far you went in basketball, and then there was some type of situation, a legal situation
Yeah.
that kind of stumped your shot at actually achieving your ultimate goal, which is probably the pros, the league. Can So that's what we're talking about today, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. So let's just touch on your history before we get into that. How was your upbringing? What city are you from, and how was your childhood?
My upbringing, I was an only child. My mother, I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. I was born in Akron, Ohio, though. So as soon as I was born in Akron, Ohio, I was born in 1983, Akron, Ohio, and we moved from Akron. My mother originally, she just moved me from Akron when I was a baby. So it was only me and my mother, and we went to Indianapolis, Indiana. Um,
Hmm.
and my mom just, yeah, raised me from there. I had no brothers, no sisters, just me. Um, and that's how I was pretty much raised. Just from that type of household. My household, I guess, was kind of like my mother used to play a lot of cards. Before I was born, they used to go to like the Players Club a lot. My mom and my dad and stuff like that. But my dad didn't grow up with. I never grew up with a father in the home, right?
Okay.
Which is a topic that a lot of people talk about in our Black community. But I also, yeah, I grew up in that type of household where it was just me and my mother, and yeah, she just did her best to keep me out of trouble, which she did a great job. And I tried to meet on my end, on my part, and yeah, it just got caught with some other stuff. So, and that shouldn't happen. So
All
that's
right. So
how
you
I mean,
said
but that's how I was pretty much raised. I was raised, me and my mother, from Indianapolis, Indiana, the east side of Indianapolis, which they always say that's where the bad people come from, but
Mhm.
nah, you know. So
All right, all right, all right. Um, so how was your family life? Like you described that already. You said you only lived with your mom, so you didn't have no brothers or sisters. It was just you,
yep, just me and my
only
mother.
you.
Yep, just me and my mother.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, most of my family. I mean, I say this as a child, like when you grow up as an only child, especially in a household where you only got just you, your mom, just it's just you and your mother. A lot of people tend to look at me in a light as a little like the tiniest thing ever. So I
Wow.
used to get I used to get like bullied. You always got somebody standing up over you and not
Right.
really learning you as a man or who you is as the person, and really learning what the real is about you. And so I grew up like that. Like always was the baby to many individuals all the time. So and that's
All
I
right.
just let it roll.
I hear that, man. I hear that. So my next question to you: when did you start playing basketball, and when did you start to progress in basketball?
I started playing basketball. So I first started playing football, and how I started playing football. When I was little, I had a cousin. He was ranked and had a lot of scholarships offers for football, and he was really good at football. And he
Wow.
did his thing. And as little boys, seeing that, first I didn't have no brothers or sisters, but I had cousins. So my cousins being around them, I always was over with them. And when I would go
Mhm.
with them, whatever they like to do, I kind of like just joined and knuckle along. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but I used to see my cousin and he played football, and it was just like, okay, well, yeah, we need to follow in that footsteps. And so I started playing a little football, and I was really good at it. But I don't know, like I was in the hallway walking. I was in middle school, and the coach just pulled me out of the his name was Eddie Levere. He pulled me out of the hallway, seeing how tall I was, and he man, he had a Jerry curl, and he had gold teeth, and he was one of my teachers, and he said, "Boy, you gonna play basketball," and he
How
made
tall
me.
are how tall are you?
Now I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3"
Okay.
now, but at that time I was 6 foot. I was 6 foot in middle school. So
Oh
6 foot in
wow.
middle school. Yeah.
Wow.
So he pulled me to the side and he made me told me he was gonna told my mother he wanted to meet with my mother and let her know that he wanted me to play basketball. So I didn't want to play initially, which is kind of crazy. I didn't really initially want to play. So when I went, I used to get bullied a lot because they used to look at me like, "Why are you so tall and you can't play?" And because
Right.
I just didn't. I, it's just normal. I didn't really. I was made to play. My mom and the coach made me play basketball. So it was embarrassing. I got in the court. I didn't know how to. I threw up a hook shot because I didn't know nothing about basketball at the time, and I seen Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson. That's the only game I've ever seen at that time, and against the Celtics, So when I seen that, I tried to mimic that. I tried to just, you get
You
out
did you
there,
did
try.
you did you did that old school hook shot on
Yeah, did a whole man. It hit the backboard, man. It was embarrassing. And if I look back over it and see over, how you first started and how you first began and stuff, it was embarrassing. But I I mean, I used to get bullied. People used to laugh at me. This one
him.
guy
Wow.
he used to, yeah, yeah, because they expected me to be so tall, and when you're so tall, they expect you to just be that. You know what I mean? Because you're tall. So, but I didn't know nothing about it. But that's how I kind of started, and I didn't like basketball from the beginning. But until a coach reached out to my mother to go play basketball not overseas, but in Canada. So they
Oh, okay.
wanted, yeah, they wanted me to play basketball in Scarborough, Canada, for the Peace Games, the
Okay.
Peace Games tournament. I don't know if you ever heard of it. So
Never.
and
Yeah.
and they put me on the team. And when I got
Wow.
put, yeah, they put me just on the team. I couldn't play ball. I was like, they just needed size.
They needed
So
height.
yeah, they needed height on the squad. So I went, I played on the team, and then when I got on the team, they ended up making me out to I ended up, you know, enjoying it a little bit. I started getting kind of passionate. We had a good game, and I rode the bench, but I was watching, and I was just like, because I was just on my Kanye West at the time. My leg out, I didn't care, just kind of
Yeah.
like I don't even care about why am I here.
Nonchalant.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Mhm.
but the game was a good game, and I started to kind of get involved in watching this, and I was like, oh man, they playing. I was just, starting to get kind of hype, and I started to get passion, and that passion started coming. And then my mother ended up buying me. My fault, I'm prolonging it, but
Not good. Speak your mind.
she ended up buying me this videotape called Michael Jordan's "Come Fly with Me"
Oh
videotape.
wow.
Remember that? You remember Michael
Yeah, I
Jordan's
remember
"Come
that
Fly
one.
with
Yeah,
Me"?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
So with Michael Jordan's "Come Fly with Me" video, I would watch that and I checked it out, and then I seen a part on there where he went to. They told him how he used to get cut from his basketball team and how they used to laugh at him about playing basketball, and
Right.
they always used to do this and do that. And then
Right.
I seen that he played for the USA team, and then I resonated that situation with me going to Canada playing for USA team versus Canada. And I was like, dang, man, if he got cut from his basketball team, and he's Michael Jordan,
Right.
um, let me just give it a shot. And I started getting inspired. That especially that scene. If you remember, if you go back and see "Come Fly with Me," and you
Yeah.
see that Dream Team part,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
part, the music inspired me. Just everything inspired me and wanted me to just kind of just play basketball. So I just started practicing, and I took it serious, and just got better and better, and start going to training camps and start putting myself involved and start putting myself in it, and then just started training and getting better from that hook shot.
From that hook shot.
Yeah, from that hook
so that,
shot.
that so so that was the second part of the question. I was going to ask you at what grade or what age you would say you really start to see your skills get better.
Good question. I say my skills started to get way better after. Actually, no. That's a good. I can answer that question 100% truthfully and accurate. My basketball skills started to get better when I was my middle school from ninth, going into ninth grade, from eighth grade to ninth grade.
So eighth grade to ninth grade, you
My
start to get
freshman year,
better.
I
Did you get a
started
growth
getting
spurt
really
too?
good.
Did you go from 6 foot to 6'1" or six
Mhm.
two at that time too?
Yeah, that's funny you asked that question. I didn't hit a major growth spur. I always kind of stayed within 6 foot to 6'3". I kind of gradually grew into it. So I think I hit 6'3" around like my senior year, junior senior year, and I just kind of stuck with
You
that
studied.
height for some reason.
Okay,
Which I
that's a
would
good height
love to
for.
hit. Yeah, I appreciate it. I would love to hit a little higher. Like just, I mean, I don't know, but it was,
You
what's up?
you a point guard, shooting guard?
From that point, I was a considered a. They always had me play three. I always was like
Oh, you was at the three?
I was at the three. Can you believe it? Yeah, like, and then they also had me play four and five sometimes too. So I would always switch, like summer leagues. I would play point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll move me from point. I was really good. Point guard was my natural skill.
Right.
But we had a basketball player on our high school team. He was very tall and he could hold the rock. His name was Brian Dillon, and
Oh,
he
right.
was yeah he was really good.
Shout
He
out to
was
him.
Yeah, he played for Purdue University as well.
Nice.
He
Shout out to
played for
him.
Yeah, so he had handles. He had handles. So it was only right that they had him. They would have switched me to point two. They would
Mm.
have seen some. Obviously, it would have been up, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I love Bryant playing the point as well. So I played my. I was always wherever you put me at coach, I'm gonna do it. I didn't complain about it. Most of that was a lot of players on our team that complained about our coach, but
Right.
I didn't really go through the complaining. I just played through it. So.
I hear that, man. I hear that. Who's your favorite basketball player as a kid? Who's your favorite? Like, who did you kind of like model your game after?
That's a two-part question, really, but
Talk about it.
I'm
Let's
gonna
let's
say,
let's let's
yeah,
talk about
yeah,
it. Let's
yeah.
talk
I
about
love
it.
it. No, I love it. Like I'm gonna say, my first, Michael Jordan. First off, is
The goat.
somebody. Yeah, Michael Jordan is forever gonna be my favorite player from now until like to death because
Hmm.
Jordan inspired me. He kind of like changed my life from him. From his story changed my life just to see him being belittled, heckled all the time, always the butt of the jokes, and then now he's the remarkable stature of Jordan, the
Right.
goat of basketball. So
Right.
Michael Jordan will forever be my greatest. But who would I pattern my game after?
Hmm.
Um, I guess now that I look at, I was really good as a slasher. I was really good as a point. I have to say, I see myself as like a Anthony Edwards. That's probably the only
Mm.
person. Yeah,
That's
Anthony Edwards. Yeah, the Anthony Edwards that got his head on straight. That Anthony Edwards. Yeah, I was kind of like off fast, quick off the dribble. If I was on the wing and I was able to get the rock, because a lot of times, sometimes individuals who had control of the ball, I really couldn't get it. But
right.
if I did have the ball in my hand, I was a
Hmm.
first stepper. I was more of a first step, going to the
Hmm.
hole, and I'm gonna dunk on you.
Well, oh, so you're a high flyer.
Oh yeah, I was known for being a high flyer. Yeah, matter of fact, well, I guess we'll get more into the story, but yeah, I was known for dunking on a lot of individuals. I got a long list of bodies, if you want to call it that, what the youth is calling today. I got a long list of them, but I never brag on it. I just kind of like it's just a part of the game. You're gonna get dunked on,
Gonna get dunked on. It happens. It
Yes,
happens to the best of them.
it just happens. Yeah, you're gonna get dunked on sometimes. We all got you know, our stories, but like, hey, sometimes it's just gonna happen. Sometimes it's just people like that. So I was the first stepper. I was that type of person. Like you put the ball in my hand, you couldn't stop me off the first step. The papers would talk about me as that I had a good first step, and when I would go, I can go. They said that pretty much I was wide range of a player. It's just the only issue
Hmm.
they felt is that I needed a mid range. So my mid range jump shot was something that I did have a bad problem with, was my mid range. But
Okay.
now, oh my God, like I wish I had what I have now.
Yeah.
to the end, right? So it's like in some ways, you know. But yeah, that worked out really good for me. Was I was a first stepper. So I say like an Anthony Edwards, Eddie Jones. I don't know if you remember Eddie Jones with the
Of
Lakers.
course, I remember Eddie Jones. Played for the Lakers. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me? Number
yeah, Eddie
six.
Jones.
Number
Yep,
the original number six.
yep, Eddie Jones. I was
He
more of
was
like
a
it.
beast. I love
Yep,
Eddie Jones.
yep. That's how. What's the other guy? I can't think of his name. He played for the Clippers too. He played overseas sometimes too. I can't think of his name, but he had handles too. He was kind of a lot of people said I kind of remind. I've heard him. I've heard DeMar DeRozan is who I've heard.
He got a good game too.
The old DeMar DeRozan when he first came
Yeah.
into the league.
Yeah, when he was in Toronto.
Yep, I was kind of more like that. That was kind of like,
Okay.
yeah, unselfish player. I would pass the ball. I would love to give the ball off. Like that was, yeah, I
Okay.
was.
That's interesting, man. That's dope, man. Who recruited you? Like, and detail the levels of success you reach as a basketball player.
Yeah. So I was recruited by Penn State University,
Wow.
Dave. Yeah, Davison's College, which was Steph Curry was would have been my teammate. So Steph Curry, me and Steph.
Wow. Hold on
Yeah,
now. Time out. Time out. Time out. See, this is what people gotta really understand.
I
Like,
know.
if he's telling me all right now, whoever watches this, that Steph Curry himself was gonna could have been his teammate.
Absolutely, 100%.
So just think about the exposure he would have got, playing with Steph Curry with his skill set and Steph
Oh
Curry's
yeah.
skill set. It would have been amazing.
It would have been remarkable. I mean, I look at Steph Curry. How I heard about Steph Curry is I was watching Davidson's when they were playing. I want to say the NCAA. I don't know if it was the championship, but it was like during the NCAA.
Mhm.
And at that time, I was recruited. Well, I was recruited by Davidson's before I seen Steph Curry go to the. Of course, because yeah, we came down the line. So, and that's how I got to see Davidson's on a national stage. So I thought Davidson's College at the time was, you know, I didn't really hear about Davidson's at that time. I was more of like I wanted to go play for like UConn with Jim. Oh God, what's the coach name? Jim. I can't think of his name right now. Jim Calhoun. I think it was Jim
Jim
Calhoun.
Calhoun.
I think that's his name. Yeah, he was. I wanted to play for. That's why I wanted to play for UConn.
Mhm.
But I wasn't recruited from UConn. I wasn't recruited from Kentucky. So another place is Kentucky. I wanted to play it also. I ended up meeting Tubby Smith's son, and we ended up being friends.
Yeah.
That's like a long story too, but nah, but that's how I heard about Steph. I heard about Steph through that, and then when I seen him on TV, and I was like, oh my God, man, we were supposed to be teammates, man. After what
Yeah.
happened to me, then I was like, God, man, like, yeah. So, and that's how I heard of Steph Curry. We were supposed to be teammates. So, and
Wow, that's crazy. So Steph Curry was about to be a teammate, bro. That's
yeah,
wild.
yeah, me
All
and
right, so
Steph
let's
would have
so
been.
let's get straight into it, man. So what happened the day of the incident that changed your basketball opportunities, and,
Um,
and was you acquitted of what happened? So let's dive right into what happened.
okay. So, in 2002, I was, so also some other schools too. I didn't get to go into.
Okay,
It was
touch on
no,
that
my
before
fault.
we
My
get into
fault.
that.
No, that's not me.
No, touch
It
on
was
it. Touch on
actually
it.
Clark State College was another school. Lakeland College was another one, and then also I want to say uh, Indiana Tech was another college, and then I had
Wow.
some other ones as well. But then they ended up. So basically, I ended up getting a call from. I was about to go to school at Clark State.
Okay.
I was going to go to Clark State because of typically I ended up going to a junior college
Mm,
for a little bit, and so I ended
mm,
up choosing Lakeland College.
mm.
When I got back to Indianapolis, I ran into an issue with a family member. When that issue happened, that's how my face got into the system initially. And then
Got
when
you.
my face got into the system,
Hmm.
I got finished with that. I still have my scholarship offers. That just was just a hiccup with family.
And
But
this is a separate incident from the actual
separate
incident that happened.
incident, separate
Okay.
incident. So that was the
Okay.
initial thing. That was my first thing that ever happened. But it didn't affect me, like it wasn't like a major effect. It was just something that happened between me and my cousin. And then after that
Okay.
situation happened, um I was about to go to school at Clark State College to pick
Okay.
up from there. And then when I got to Clark, when I was getting finalizing the paperwork of my scholarships and everything, I ended up getting a call from my lawyer, and my lawyer said that there's a warrant for your arrest. So
Wow.
I just hung up with the coach. I just hung up with Clark State University. I mean, I'm sorry, Clark State College. And I
Hmm.
hung up the phone and I got the call from my lawyer. And he said I had something to do with he said, "Do you know these two guys?" I'm not gonna mention their names, but he
Okay.
said, "Do you know these two men?" And they said, "Do you have any do you know them?" And I was like, "No, I don't know who they are." And then he said, well, there's a warrant for your arrest for a robbery. And they said that I had to turn myself in. So I
And,
turned
and,
myself.
and, and not to cut you off. So
My fault.
something that you knew nothing about.
Nothing
You knew nothing about this.
at all.
You got a call from your coach, you said, or agent. Who was it?
I got a call from my lawyer.
Your lawyer. You got a call
My
from your
lawyer.
lawyer
Yes.
saying that there was a warrant for your arrest for something you knew absolutely nothing
Nothing
about.
about. Nothing at all.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep. And
Okay, so what
okay.
happened after that? So he tells you you have a warrant. So what's at that moment? What's going through your mind?
Uh, at that time, I think my whole body just felt depleted. It just was a depleted feeling. It was more
Wow.
like, oh my God, man. I just got off the phone with the coach from Clark State, and for some reason, I always had a problem with crying, so I couldn't cry. I don't know why I could not cry. I just could never cry. People think like, man, after everything that you what happened
What
to
you
me,
been through?
yeah, they would think that I would have to cry, and for some reason, I just felt depleted. So I turned myself in.
Hmm.
Um, I went to jail, and my mother, she worked for. I don't know if you heard of the Eskenazis. There is a major thing in Indianapolis. They're like a Jewish family, and they ended up bailing me out, which was a blessing, which I'm grateful for. I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for the Eskenazis for bailing me out. But I ended up getting out, and I ended up going through this trial. So this trial lasted. It was a pre-trial that happened for a year and a half. It's something I want you to know, man. Like it's so crazy about it. My lawyer that I had from the beginning was a civil rights attorney. This lawyer that I had, his name was Lee Buckley. Rest in peace. His Lee Buckley was meant like the way God worked, man. Like Lee Buckley was meant for my to be my lawyer. But my mother was panicking. You know how mother and parents start panicking. She
Yeah.
panicked. We never been through something like this before. So
Right.
she panicked and she went to my cousin who actually was a drug lord. I got a cousin that was a drug he was an actual drug lord.
Okay.
He because he actually been in some trouble. He was big in the dope game. So
Hmm.
she went to talk to him
Hmm.
and he suggested a different lawyer.
Okay.
But it was a bad suggestion.
Mm.
Later on down the line, after everything has happened and it's dust
Mm.
settled, it was the worst decision I could ever have in the world.
Wow.
You could have represented me in jail. I mean, during the trial. The reason why is because I wasn't there. I was at work, so they had the wrong person. So any person
Wow.
could have represented me to say, "Hey, yo, lawyer, like judge, here's his paperwork, here's his employer telling you he worked there, he was at work."
Right.
So I didn't. This lawyer. Okay, so the lawyer that it was her name was Marla Thomas, and
Hmm.
she was a more the type of lawyer she was helping individuals get off
Hmm.
that did the crime.
Oh, got you.
Right,
Wow. So,
right.
wow.
So
So
she
not
so
so she's not coming in with the approach of like, yo, this guy's innocent. This guy was at work, and I have the documents to prove that he's at work. She's not taking that approach. She's saying, well, he could have did it, and can you just please
we
give him grace? Type. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yep, yep.
That's
So
crazy.
that's the this is why I'm so much like the situation is kind of I'm glad you understand that because it's kind of from that point of view, it's like I got rid of the lawyer that I needed. I had what I needed already. I had my lawyer he was a civil rights attorney. He focused on black. You walk into his office, he had Malcolm on the wall, he had Martin on the wall, he had Garvey, I had the lawyer that I needed for
Mhm.
this trial. And it's like people look at me and be like, "Oh, you're so disrespectful to your mom," and it's just like, no, I'm not disrespectful. Like it's not that at all. Like me and my mother we got a close relationship because she's like my mother, she's like my sister, she's like all of that. I'm her son, I'm like her brother. I'm all of those type of things in the household like that. So when people, it's funny that people in the community talk about, you know, growing up in a household where it's just you and your mom and
Right.
things. So it's sometimes when you're having these conversations with your mother, you have to kind of let her know, hey, you're making a bad decision right now. I didn't ask you to do that, and you understand that mom is just being a mom, but
Right.
sometimes like you can make a bad decision that can be a major effect later on. But God, you know what I
But
mean?
God,
So, but
absolutely,
God, yeah, but God.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
so long story short, she was my lawyer, and yeah, you summed it up. It was just every time I spoke with her, she was just always kind of like, "Did you do it? Did you do it?" And I told her the first time, in my situation, it was more like, "Well, I told you the first time, and why am I keep have to tell you this over and over? Why I got to keep saying it over and over? This is what happened." And I didn't think of that until years later that, oh, she wasn't for me. She was not really for me at all.
Right, right,
Um, so so pre-trials kept happening. She didn't let me know that I had a pre-trial, and they put me in jail. So I went. So this is
for,
all the
for,
stuff yeah, that happened to me.
for how long they put you in jail?
I was in jail for probably 2 months. I want to say two and a
Two
half
months.
months.
That those 2 months must have been the most devastating two
It
months
was.
for an innocent man.
It is. It is.
I mean, torture. I mean, to be put in jail for something that you didn't do.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, and it's hard for me, like, again, because I don't cry and I don't show. I mean, I cry. Don't get it messed up, but I don't show. I found out about myself for some reason. I don't walk around with the same emotional look that people would think you're supposed to look like for a person to go through something like that. So it doesn't show on me as much as how people would think it would look like.
right,
Um, and it's more about, again, it's just like, um you got to remember I was just innocent. So if I was innocent, I just kind of, I want to keep my sanity in that, you know what I mean? Just like, hey man, like I was innocent, I wasn't guilty, so why should I be crying about it? Why should I mean, the only thing is I am upset. I'm very upset, about it, but I'm not, as we spoke, I'm not going to kind of like, bash and do all that like that, but we know, like, it's kind of obvious who's the guilty parties in this situation. Um I said what I said. You had the innocent person.
right.
Um, and I played basketball. I stayed to myself. I made beats. I was only child. I
Yeah,
was meant to go to the NBA.
yeah.
Let me let you finish up. But
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna get to that.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get to
But
that.
that's how it happened. I went to jail. I went to jail. I went to murder robbery block.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it was just it was pretty much. I was also put in a to prevent myself from being in a bad situation. I put
Yeah.
myself in the hole, not the hole, but what do you call it? Suicidal ward.
Really.
I experienced that. It's more of an
Wow.
experience. Yeah, I experienced
Wow.
that.
Wow. That's wild, man. I have a question though. Just this is still a part of the same question. So you said you was so at the time of the crime that was supposedly took place. You said that you was at work.
I
How
was
come nobody at your job couldn't come to testify for you about?
um they actually did. They actually did, which I was honestly surprised because of my lawyer, the type of lawyer, like you said, you described her to the T. The type of lawyer I had, I didn't. She was focusing on the science, like science and all that. She just kept on focusing there. on scientific evidence on whether you remember the situation, if you remember, how people are with their memory.
Right.
So I didn't really expect her to have him come in. I mean, from the jump, from the beginning, when I initially I was at work, I worked at Eli Lilly. I worked as a pipe fitter, like it was like an apprentice. It was my first day of work.
Yeah.
Um, and I had to work with a foreman. When you're a pre-apprentice, you had to work with a foreman. So
Right.
you was with them all the time. I was with my foreman all day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I okay, so when I had to turn myself in, like I said,
Yeah.
I had to turn myself in. I went to jail initially, and then I got bailed out by the Eskenazis. Once I got bailed out, um, as soon as I got out, I went right to Eli Lilly. So it was a company called BMW Constructors. I
Mm-hmm.
worked with them through with them to Eli Lilly. So I went directly to BMW Constructors to get my
Mm-hmm.
time card.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went. That's what I did. I initially did that. And I figured, because I was thinking on the bunk when I was in jail, I was like, where was I at? Because I was asking these questions to my lawyer at the time, conversating through that. I was like, what was they saying? What they And they told me the time and the date and everything like that. And when I learned about the time and the date, I'm sitting here just thinking, where was I at that time?
Right.
And I remember that I was at work. I worked at Eli Lilly. So I
Right.
went back to BMW Constructors, and
Mm-hmm.
being a woman, we looked through the files and we found it. We found my time card, and my time card was in there. I thought that they were just gonna, because you gotta understand, I just thought that they were just gonna take the time card, uh, and that's it. Which
Right.
that just makes sense, right? It's like it's just a mistake. And I
Right.
think that's the reason why I'm like the way I am, because I always look at it like it's just a mistake. You guys got the wrong person. Like,
Right.
I don't know why you cannot get this in you guys. They don't want it to be the wrong. They want it to be the wrong person, obviously, I guess, but they don't want it to be the wrong person at the same
Okay.
time. So it's like I thought that I could just show them my paperwork and just say, "Hey, yo, I wasn't there," and I could just move on. But it didn't happen that way. So later on down the line, she was focused on the scientific evidence during the trial, and then she ended up calling him in, and he came to trial. To answer your question, he actually came to my trial and spoke at the on trial. And that's what you hear when I did the documentary Black and Blue. That's him on there speaking where I was at work the time
And
of the crime.
where can we find that documentary?
It's on Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, yeah. It
Okay,
won.
so your actual documentary of the whole story is on Amazon Prime right now. So I can go watch it
Mhm,
right now.
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna watch it, and I should have done my due diligence and watched it before I did the interview. But
yeah, yeah,
I already read up on everything that was going on with you, so I felt like it was no need to yet. But now that you
mhm,
told me it's on Amazon Prime,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
watching that thing. I'm
Yeah,
watching
the
that thing.
person, the director that directed that was Dylan Avery. So I think, like, with me, like, that's why I wanted to, kind of reach out in one way to get more, bring more awareness, is because everybody who tells me says that I need more awareness to this situation, because once we get a little bit more into it, it makes sense why I need actual more awareness to the situation, because a lot of people are not aware that this, like what had happened to me, they're not aware that this happens. And so it's kind of like the type of thing where if you don't see it out in the open,
Mhm.
it's always underground. So I'm used to being lodged in the underground
Right.
of this situation. So it's kind of difficult to explain, but yeah. So Dylan Avery, like the director, Dylan Avery was the one who did the documentary Loose Change. I don't know if
Right.
you heard about that, but the towers, they
Yeah.
said that,
Yeah.
yeah. So he did that. So
Okay.
mhm.
Okay. So now I just want to touch on this. All right. So I heard just that last question that I asked you, that was deep. That's something that I couldn't even fathom going through. So I'm trying to make a correlation right now. Your story sounds so similar to Allen Iverson's story. So similar. Similar but different. Different in a way that I just felt like somebody could have fought for you a little harder. But to my next question,
No, you're
do you
right.
feel do you feel like your story is
Mhm.
similar to Allen Iverson's story?
Yes, I do. I do. I can see that. I could definitely see that. Like me and Iverson's story, I didn't see it. I didn't even know. So I didn't even know about Allen Iverson's story as well. I didn't even know that he was locked up for a fight that happened at a bowling alley or something like that. Yeah, and so I didn't know that, which is crazy that he ended up getting 15 years, I believe,
Yep.
for a fight at the bowling alley, even though I guess it was like a small point of, they called it a felony of assault that he had to go through,
Right.
and it's just wild because it's like just a bowling alley fight, you know what I mean? But it's, it's still not cool, but it's like, dang, like a bowling alley fight, like 15 years, like so.
And from what I'm hearing, I wasn't there. I think I seen the documentary. It was like it was an all out brawl. So there was no clear cut evidence that Iverson even
Right.
partook in the fight.
Exactly. It's just like and that's and see I guess so yeah. So I'm a spirit. Okay. So the thing is that I look at things a little bit. I got natural eyes where I see things in a natural way. Then I see
Right.
things in a spiritual way, and then I say
Love it.
like, okay,
Love
Blaine, like, wow, like yeah, Allen Iverson's story is kind of similar because in different ways, in so many ways, when I look at my life and I look at Allen Iverson's life,
it. Right.
he somebody targeted Iverson.
There you go. That's the similarity right there. Somebody, and I feel like I don't know. I was about to ask you, did you have beef with anybody, or do you feel like somebody was jealous of you to try to implicate your name in something that you had absolutely nothing to do with?
That's the very first thing I was thinking, and I was like, who could it be? Like I never had any running. Well, I don't know how any kind of way if it's anything of myself that can make somebody do that. I
What
mean,
about not to
a
cut you off, but
basketball. Oh, my fault.
what about girlfriend? Did you take somebody's girlfriend? Did you have a girl that somebody might have liked?
Yeah, I never even thought of it that way. I don't
That's
even.
possible.
Yeah, this crazy part about like, and see, that's why I was telling people. A lot of people would tell me, "Oh, Dario, don't think about your haters. Don't think about your haters." And that's why it's so important to start thinking of that stuff because people do some of the craziest things in the dark. They do some of the craziest things, and I see it, and I get called crazy for it too. Because
Hmm.
that's right. Like you see it, like okay, so yeah, like I don't know. I never really at that time
Hmm.
I was doing so well in basketball that I wouldn't even if I had haters, man. I only knew one hater that I knew for sure that I had, and I
Hmm.
can name his name. His name was Robert, the same person
Okay,
that was making fun of me when I was in middle school because I couldn't play, and when I was in high school. That's the only person I could think of.
that was
Uh,
hating on you.
that was hating on me. Bad. I
Okay.
mean, bad. I know. Like, I put it to you this way: I started to get when I was bad at basketball. He used to make fun of me because he was good at basketball, and I
Hmm.
didn't. Again, I didn't know I was going to be playing. But my mother made me play ball. They made me play basketball. And once
Okay.
I got to high school, I became better. And he came to the same high school, and my
Mhm.
coach would make us stretch the new tryouts out. So we would be in front, like stretching them out. We'll be like having everybody line up. Our coach would tell us to stretch the new guys who want to try out for the team.
Right.
And he happened to be in the crowd. And I remember seeing him. And I always was like, "Hey, Rob, like, as a friend, like, hey, was I never even I even though I knew he didn't like me, like I know a lot of like cousins that don't like me and stuff. I always would always be still friendly with them and everything. Like, hey, I'm just trying to be because the only child of me, the only child is like, oh, I still want to be a friend with somebody. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
care. I just want to be friends. It's something of being the only child when you're not used to fighting brothers and sisters. I didn't come from like fighting people all the time, but my mama was a fighter even though
Right.
she was even though my mother will tell you she's not a fighter, she is a fighter, you know what I mean? And she's
Right.
up.
And
But
that,
but
mhm.
oh, go ahead, my fault. My fault.
Yeah, and that gets me not to cut you off,
You right. No, you
but
right.
but that gets me to my next question. Happy you said that your mother's a fighter. My next question was why nobody fought for your career like Allen Iverson's mother fought for his career and his coach when he went to Georgetown. Why do you feel like nobody after that happened? I'm not to target your mother, but why didn't
No, no, no,
coaches?
no, 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 no.
why didn't your coaches that you used to have, or other family members, friends, anybody say, what could I do to help you? Can I speak to the schools that you got recruited to? Can I speak to whoever that can help you actually still go to these schools, even with the situation at hand? How come you feel like nobody fought for you like Allen Iverson mother fought for him?
Um, First off, that was my first thought anyway. That's the same. I have no idea. To be
Mm,
honest with you, I have no idea. I think okay, so I think like people, like I said, the way the people see me, they think that, oh, he think he this, or he think he that. So
mm.
we don't want to push him and help him move forward to even obtaining that because he think he this, he think he that.
Got you. Got you. Got you.
I think maybe I could be wrong, right?
Hmm.
But I can maybe be right.
Hmm.
I don't know why nobody like how could they never even do that with me? Like out of all
Right.
the people. And I never that's a question that I'm still like my people, like supposed to be my people.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why no I my guess is your guess. I just I don't know how
You
to put
know.
that into words. Yeah, like that's the hurtful part. Put it that way. I'm not crying right now,
Right.
but I should be crying right now.
Got you.
That's the hurtful part.
That's the hurtful part of the
That's
whole
the
situation.
hurtful part. That's the hurtful part. You know what I mean? It's
Got
deep down. You know what I mean? I had to
you.
put. I've been through so much that I put it down here, but that's the
Hmm.
hurtful part. That's the hurtful part. Like we supposed to all be together. I'm always the type like I will always again. My mama was a fighter. You know, she
Hmm.
wouldn't like she walk around fighting everybody, but
Yeah.
she was
She was
she was
tough.
something.
She was
Yeah,
tough.
she's something. Yeah,
Hmm.
and everybody got that image on them. They got that image. I'm the type where I don't really have that. People be like, oh, he ain't gonna be about nothing. He is that.
Right.
I'm the type that like I wouldn't fight people like that. I wouldn't. I'm not that type of person. I'm the
Right.
type where if you put your hands on my people,
Then you
I'll
step up.
fight.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I'm not gonna lose.
I hear that.
So that's different. That's a different type of love, and that type of
That's right.
love is what I was expecting from these so-called tough people that
Right.
talk all the time. They talk about, oh, you grew up in a household with a without a father, then you a wimp or you a girl or you this, and they say a whole bunch of things. They own the platforms of a lot of talk. A lot of people talk a lot, and I sit back
Right.
and gotta take them talking about and thinking that they know when they not there to see.
They're not there to see it.
Yeah.
I
So
hear that.
seeing it and actually living it is a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing, and it hurts. It hurts coming from them to see them
Right.
like that with that behavior. When I would kill for you.
Right.
I would kill
Right.
for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind
Right.
of it's kind of that's the wild part. So that's why I understand like a Charleston White when he talk the way he talk about things, the way
Yeah.
he is right now and stuff. It's just like you see it from a different spectrum. You're like, this is what I deserve. So and there were some people that, like my mother. She could have did a lot other things, but she didn't know how to help from one aspect because I see a lot of people betray me, turn their
Mhm.
backs on me, didn't know the situation, or either they avoided the situation. Just cowardism, just a lot of cowards, just cowardism, man. Like I mean, no, I'm innocent. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's like I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. All right. Before I get into my next question, give me 2 seconds. I had to grab my charger
Mhm.
because
Oh, you
we've been
good?
going for a while. Let me give me 2 seconds. I'll be
Yeah,
right
yeah,
back.
you
I'll
good.
be
You
right back.
good. Okay,
Cause we gonna chop this video up anyway. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. All right.
copy that.
All right. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back that quick. I'm back that quick, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. I'm back that quick.
you
And
back.
Make sure that y'all go see that
Black
documentary
Elite.
for Mr. Dario Lee. He has an amazing story, hoop dreams, and unfortunate situation that kind of got in the mix of everything.
No, we ain't even got into the to the crazy part. Still,
Okay, we gonna touch. We gonna
it's just wild, right?
we still here. We gonna touch on it. We gonna touch. I got a few more questions
Oh, you all
left,
right?
and then after my questions, if I haven't touched on, can you
Oh,
still
it's
can
fine.
you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? Actually, you sound even more clear. Actually, right
I
now.
sound clearer.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. I hope the whole video is clear.
yeah. You was clear. You was clear too in the beginning. It's just way more clear now for some reason.
Perfect. Okay, so that works. So yeah, so after I finish these last questions, whatever you want to
All right.
point out, just go for it. All
All right.
right. So my last question: Are you content on what you said?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everything's 1,000% true. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. So I can move on to the next question.
absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So let me move on to the next question. Okay. So this question right here. To me, this is probably the one of the most important questions because this is something that's probably going to linger in your mind forever. All right. And my very next question to you is, sir, if this incident did not happen, do you think you could have been drafted into the NBA?
1,000,000,000%. After going through everything that I've been through, 1,000,000,000%. Yes.
Wow.
Uh,
Right
uh,
along with Steph
yeah.
Curry.
Oh, a 1,000,000,000%. 1,000,000,000%. I mean, I look when I my wife will tell you I'll sit here and watch like late nights. I'll look at basketball games. I'll look at like Jordan, the old Jordan games. I look at the new age players. I look at the way they play. 1,000%. You would definitely know me in the NBA. It's not like half know me. You would definitely know me because the way that the way that I was gradually getting better and better and better. And I think one thing that I did not mention too, also they actually go along with this. I was ranked in the state. I was ranked in the nation in basketball. I also was. I was in the 5-star basketball. I was the MVP of 5-star basketball camp.
I was
Yeah,
going to ask you that. Did you get to the 5-star camp? And listen,
yeah.
just to for
My
everybody
fault.
out there, you have to be elite. You hear what I'm telling you? You have to be elite to get invited to the 5-star basketball camp. Jordan was there. Am I correct?
Yeah, Michael Jordan was there.
All the greats was there.
Yeah, all the greats: LeBron, Michael
LeBron
Jordan,
James,
Kobe.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have
so
to
I
be
mean,
elite, ladies and gentlemen, to get invited to this camp.
well,
And
I
this
mean, you
this
can.
gentleman right here was invited. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
No, no, it's okay. Like I mean, you can pay as well to come as well and come up the ranks as well.
but you got invited.
So no, I had to pay. I had to
Oh,
pay.
you did. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
had to pay. But
All
but
right.
hold up. But here's the thing though. With the 5-star basketball camp of me paying to go to be sent to that camp,
Yeah.
I was the MVP of the entire camp. Yeah, so I was an
Look at that.
unsung. Yeah, so I had to come up the ranks. I came up the ranks and played in the actual. So they have players that get invited to the
Hmm.
camp, and then they have players that pay to go. And when you
Okay.
pay, so how it works is when you get to this league, it was ran by Garth Hinkle. Rest in peace to Garth.
Rest in peace to golf.
Which he was a hater. He was a hater too. Like,
He was a
but
hater.
okay, so like, check this out, man. The way that camp went, man. When I went to, it was in 1999 is when I went, and I went in
99.
2000. I went in '99 and I went in 2000. And
Okay.
Garth, you got to remember, Garth. He invited players to that camp, so it was players. I was one of my coaches was Mike Fratello. He was one of my coaches. He was my dribbling
Okay.
coach. So you have two different sections. You have a section of players that were invited, and you have a section of players that paid.
Who paid?
Yeah, they paid. So what happens is that they mix us all in to the whole entire camp, and then you have to perform in that camp and show out. So now you have some invitees and you have ones that had to pay.
Right.
Nike's there, Speech Run and Slam is there, ABCD Camp is there, everybody's
Mhm.
there.
Hmm.
um, um, Sports Center, all of them. Everybody's there.
Everybody's there.
Yeah, everybody's there.
Hmm.
And here's the crazy part about me. I'm a payee. Put it that way. I'm just a payee.
Hmm.
And I got there, and the team I was on, we ended up winning the championship.
Wow.
I
And
ended
now,
up,
was that team mixed up from invitees and payees?
yes,
Got
yep.
it. Got
We
it. Who's
ended
on
up,
your team
we,
that we might remember or know notice?
no, nobody
Nobody.
but me.
Nobody. But you
Nobody but
okay?
me. Yeah, like
Okay.
so. Imagine one. I guess it's like kind of one of them. I know it's crazy, and this is.
Hmm.
It sounds. You know that the feeling that you feel, how crazy this sounds, is, and it's in record book, so you can reach
Hmm.
out to Five Star Basketball Camp to find out these records. So the
No, I
1990.
believe you. I believe you 100%. I don't have to do all of that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe
Well, it was Robert Morris Camp.
you. Hmm.
Robert Morris Camp, and so we won. We won the championship, and I also
Hmm.
won championship MVP. So I led my
Wow.
team to
You
win.
got that trophy right now?
My everything got in the flood, man. Everything got.
No.
Oh, this is the I know it's crazy. It's crazy, and see, and it sucks because like my story is so much like maybe I'm just come off the records. Maybe this nigga lying. You know,
Okay.
what I'm saying? I always get put in this situation, and everybody got to kind of investigate to
Right.
find. And when they investigate, they get their answer.
Okay.
I'll leave you with that one. If
I,
you
I
invest,
believe you. No, I,
yeah,
I I believe you. You don't have to convince me. I believe you. I'm just saying no because I'm like, damn, like
no, no,
that's
yeah,
like that's like a
I know.
treasure to have. Like,
I know, I know. It sucked. Like when the crazy part about it was my pops, my dad. My mother would send me every summer to, same story like Boys in the Hood, like
Yeah,
Trey. Like
like
Trey,
Trey.
same, like just like Trey, just
Yeah.
like Trey. My mom would send me to go visit my dad in the summer, and he didn't want to deal with me.
Hmm.
But at
He lived
least
in the
Trey,
hood.
huh?
He lived in the hood.
Who me?
No, no, no. Your father.
Oh yeah, yeah, he stayed in the hood. Yeah, he stayed in the hood.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, Akron, Ohio. Cause see, I was born in Akron. I was born in the
Okay.
same hospital as LeBron James. I played
Oh,
with
that's
LeBron.
crazy.
Yeah, I played with LeBron. I played with Zach Randolph. I played with Quentin Richardson, Eddie Curry.
Where at? Where
Just to
at?
name some people. Quentin Richardson and Eddie Curry played on this team that we played in AAU squad for the Indiana Aces. I think that was in I want to say Purdue. We played at a tournament in Purdue. I played
Okay.
with them there, and then
Where you played against LeBron at?
I played with LeBron in Akron. So LeBron, when we played with LeBron, LeBron was he was like 15, 16. He was probably he was probably younger, 13, 14,
How
15.
old were you?
I was around like 16. I want to say 16. And I think it was even we was even younger because I had to be like 15 to 16 at that time. Because I
Yeah.
remember Drew. Like Drew
That's his homeboy.
was yeah, Drew. Drew. Now see,
Yeah.
Drew is who I play with. Drew,
Okay.
uh so okay. So how it was LeBron used to come up to Patterson Park in Akron,
Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah.
And that's where I used to go play ball. They used to play football at Akron. So
Yeah.
football was their thing. And
Okay.
when they used to come into the park, it used to be LeBron, this big fat dude he used to come with, and Drew. And Drew was really short. Let me
I
check.
remember him from the documentary. He had a lot of heart though.
Well, see, I was telling people about Drew. Yeah, right. He had heart. I was telling people about Drew before the documentary came out. I was telling a coach of mine, and he didn't believe me or nothing. People don't believe me for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling him the story, and I remember when More Than a Game came out, and he called me. I didn't see the
Mm-hmm.
documentary yet, but he called me and
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Hey, I seen documentary More Than a Game, and I seen the Drew you was telling me about. You okay? You weren't lying." And I was just like,
Right.
"It's like I don't know, man. Like the film and television. I guess if it don't hit the TV screens, people don't believe nothing. So."
Right. Right. People only
Um,
believe what they see.
they only believe that, and it's just like so. But Drew was good. He was good. Like all the guys was making fun of Drew. They
Cause
would
he was
make fun
short.
of,
Cause he was
yeah,
short.
because he was short. Yeah, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I met Drew at the park, and we was chopping it up. And later on, I found out that I didn't know that his dad was a basketball coach,
The
and
coach. He was the coach.
yeah, and also I I'm from Indianapolis and I'm coming to Akron. So
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis, we play basketball. So we used to playing basketball all the time. We used to basketball that energy. You just it's
Right.
just something about us. We got that energy of basketball. And
Right.
so when we meet somebody that play basketball, we was just like, oh yeah, we know you play ball. We know you. LeBron didn't give off that energy when I first met him. I'm
I was
just
about
gonna
to get
be
into that.
honest with
I was about to ask you, how was LeBron in person? How was his energy? Do you have any crazy LeBron stories since you played with him?
I honestly, the only stories I got is that he wasn't really as he became. He was just, and I don't judge a person all the way like that, like just be like, oh yeah, he was a scrub. Because I see people in the hood, they do that to me, and they'd be like, or people that I know that talk, they'd be like, oh, I remember him, he was a scrub, he couldn't play at that time. But
Mm-hmm.
in due time, your game will progress. So that's like with the youth, I always would tell them that as well. Like your game will progress. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna be. In one moment, you might be um not good at one point, you think of yourself as whatever, whatever. You can
Mm-hmm.
grow to become good. And I always, that's why I always would get laughed at because I was always positive. I was always the positive person. And then you have somebody that was always on the negative side to make
Right.
fun of the positive person that's telling them something that they don't believe in themselves to be. And
Right.
so they finding that as if I'm just trying to be some, I don't know, some Hallmark card. And when in fact I'm just telling you that you actually can really actually do it. It's really, I found myself as scrubby as ever, and then find myself dunking on some of the top players you'd never believe that I, just did. So
Wow.
it's things that can actually happen. It's just hate. The hate is in the way.
Gotcha.
So, and that's just all it is. It really just be the hate in the way, and people don't realize when they're being haters. They don't realize when they're being negative. They don't realize that they're feeding into an enemy, which is just this enemy. You know what I mean? And your
Right.
self doubt. You put that into the air, then it just you mess up things that can actually be when you just keep positive energy and you actually just move and be wanting to work towards it. You could actually do it. You really could actually do it. So, far as LeBron, he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't he wasn't ready. He wasn't he at the park. He was just put it this way at the park. Drew used to yell out, Lil Drew. I remember. I never forgot it, man. Lil Drew used to yell out, LeBron, get out the way, get out the way. Because he was a little point guard, so he calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
Get out the way, because LeBron would be in the way all the time, and he was just so. To me, he was just clumsy. He
Oh,
just seemed.
okay.
Yeah, LeBron just seemed kind of clumsy to me
How
at the
tall was he
time.
at the time? How tall was he?
He was probably like six. He might be like 6 foot 5'11", but he was always kind of strong to me. He always seemed kind of strong to me.
He was 6 foot at 15.
I believe it was like 6 foot. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. He was pretty tall to me. He was pretty tall to me at the time. Um,
I thought he would be taller at 15 because he grew to be 6'8". So at
Oh,
15,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Well, yeah, he must have been. He was probably because at that time, like I said, I think I said earlier, I was six. I hit 6'2", 6'3" around my junior senior year. So I
right.
was like, I think when I played with LeBron, I had to be in my junior year, sophomore, junior year in
Okay.
high school, and so he had to be probably in middle school at that time, and he
Okay.
was pretty hefty. To me, he was pretty hefty.
He always been
Um,
solid. He always been kind of
yeah,
solid.
he was solid. He was kind of solid, and he would always grab rebounds really good. I remember
Yeah.
that. I do remember him grabbing rebounds, and he was going because the players we was playing against at that day was kind of some adult individuals. They was older than us, but they was
Right.
all from Akron, Ohio. They all thought that they were good, but they played football. They wasn't no good basketball players at all, really. They
Right.
just you tell them they're not good basketball players, they're gonna argue with you all day, but they
Right.
them trying to play basketball with somebody from Indianapolis. it's not. You gonna find out that you ain't a good basketball player. You're gonna see a reality check. But
Wow.
like, yeah, like, but Drew was good. Drew was good. Drew can
Drew had
shoot.
heart. He was
Yeah,
good.
man. Drew could shoot, man. He could shoot. But
But you know what's so crazy that you said that? So you said this happened when he was like 15. Now I'm looking on social media, and there's reports saying that when LeBron was 16 years old, I believe. Don't quote me. Either 16 or 17. So he must have got good really fast.
well, see,
Because
that's yeah.
so when he was 16 or 17, he actually played a pickup game with Michael Jordan and the other NBA players. And they said that he was dominating everybody, even Jordan. And they said he even dunked on Jordan.
Wow.
And
Wow.
yes, that's and LeBron confirmed it. LeBron said, yeah, he said there was nothing nobody could do with me.
Yeah,
Other NBA players confirmed it as well.
I could just say like when we played, I was 16, so LeBron was like younger. He was younger. He probably had like 13, maybe
So he could have been
13,
third.
12.
So maybe you mixed up the years. He could have. So you
Yeah,
were 16. So how old are you
yeah.
now? So let's. How old are you now?
I'm 42.
So okay. So you're 42. LeBron is my age. So you said when you played against him, you were 16.
Yeah, I was 16.
He was 14.
Yep. So that makes sense. Okay.
He
So
was
he was
14.
he was he was a little younger. He must have
So
been
he was
like,
14. He was 14.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
like I said,
that makes more sense. Yeah, like it was around that time. My mind, I just remember the day what happened, and then I remember just us balling, and he wasn't really. You got to think about it too. I was the MVP of 5 star basketball camp at the time. I
absolutely.
was yeah, I was, and that's why I say like I wasn't. That's why I say it's not good. I never really bag on anybody or diss them for whatever how their game was at the time
Right.
or anything like that. I just remember him being just really like he was just
Clumsy.
rebounding the ball, yeah, and clumsy, and that's
Clumsy.
all I really remember. And I
Yeah.
still look at LeBron to this day as he's kind of clumsy, even though he's
Hmm.
considered the greatest player. It's
Yeah.
not like like that. I just kind of see him. He's getting better. He's actually getting better.
Hmm.
I know that sounds so crazy because I haven't hit the NBA, but again, I was
Nah.
supposed to be. I really was supposed to be there. I just really look at him
Right.
and I just see kind of like he kind of like he had to work on his jump shot. He had to work on a lot of stuff when he got to the league.
Right.
Now he's like he's gotten way better. He's to me he's actually just now started to kind of hit that curve of where he should have kind of went. I mean that's just my. I don't like being opinionated. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to be
Yeah.
opinionated or
I
nothing
hate,
like
but
that.
that's not. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's just me.
I mean,
It's just
like,
my basketball, looking at basketball. You know how it be. You be watching basketball, be like, man, God, man, it would have been so much different if I
yeah.
was there, and then it would have been way. Oh my God, trust me, it would have been so much different. The game would have been live a long time ago. It would have been live already. It would have been up there. So,
Right. Right. But to your credit, I just want to say this. I personally believe that things in life don't always happen to you. It happens for you. And I'm gonna say this, even though you feel like, damn, I know I was good enough to get into the NBA. Let's say you would have got that. 100%. Let's just say you got the opportunity. Okay,
you're
now you
right.
did, you got it.
You're right.
What could have happened or transpired with all of that success and
I'm
all of that?
glad you asked that. I am
You
so
never.
glad you asked that. I'm so glad you asked. You know what? You know what? I thought of that as well too. I look at I said this on other interviews and I mean it. I would have been given the type of like I said before, I couldn't like when you asked about like people who didn't fight for you. It's wild to me because I'm the type of person that I would have given every dollar I would have had to anybody. So imagine if I went to the NBA off of what you're saying, I would have if I was in the NBA at the time, which a lot of other things did happen too that would have that could have got me to the NBA as well. So I didn't stop. I kept going. Um, and my agent got killed. I was supposed to play for the Timberwolves at one
Wow.
point. We was working a deal with the Timberwolves, the D
Wow.
League, the D League at this time. Like I was doing a lot of stuff. But I will say is that if I did, you're right. I would have been giving money to family members and people who I thought were
Mhm.
right in my corner. I mean, just dishing it, giving it, giving. I would have. I know 1,000,000,000% I would have did it. It was not. I would have been buying houses,
Yep.
cars, homes for all my family members. The type of person my mother used to argue with me. Stop being so going to your family's home, going running to them. Even my older cousin Dwayne, he would tell me, stop running to my family, stop running because I'm an only child. So I will
Right.
always call them. I will always run to them. I will always this. My mother had a tendency, like, always running. And so you're right. Like sometimes you run expecting love, and you get pretty much like, what do you keep coming over here for? What do you like? You don't really see the value of your own family and what they would actually do for you. So I would have made a lot of bad mistakes for individuals who didn't really care for me, and they show themselves like they really don't care for me,
Right.
as I aspire for them too, what I'm saying, to care. So that's the upsetting part of it. But you know, but so that so but God, right? But God.
But God. But
But
God.
God. So it makes
But God.
sense. Yeah, it makes sense. So God seen it another way.
Right.
To just to sum it up a little bit more for you too. I ended up playing. I did play professional basketball. I put this to the side for you too. I ended up playing in the ABA.
Nice.
So I did play.
Nice.
Yeah, I ended up going playing professional ball for the ABA.
Nice.
It wasn't the NBA, but I did play some professional ball. I was the first in my family to play professional basketball. Um,
Nice.
and it
Salute to
turned
you.
into me coming to LA, and I guess like how it happened. Just to give you the real, just to hurry up and give you the last part, man. Like
Yeah.
I um I ended up becoming homeless based off of being charged for that crime I didn't commit.
Wow.
So yeah, it was hard, like not finding work because it went on my criminal history. So I think we didn't even really get into that. Is that it went on my criminal history? So once that
Well,
went on my criminal history,
well, not to cut you off. That was my next question. That was
my
kind of like my next question. Oh, so not really, but kind of almost in lines with it. But let's just get to my next question. I was going to ask you, what are you doing today for a living, and what are the plans you have for the near future?
um like for today. So now, um I work in merchandising.
Hmm.
I'm still an act. I'm an actor now. I didn't grow
Nice.
up. Yeah, I
Nice.
didn't. I did not know that I would become. This is the part. This is the
Wow.
part that's the crazy part about it. Um,
You got to send me some of your movies, man, and whatever you got going on. Just
Yeah,
shoot that to me.
it's a gradual process. It's still a process. It's just like you find yourself getting into somewhere that you didn't even think you would be. So like I got my so how it happened, and how I got into acting, or became into acting is,
Mhm.
um again, I was charged for the crime I didn't commit. I lost my scholarships. I went through having it on my criminal history. I've been denied homes. I've been denied jobs, which you need
Wow.
money to get homes.
Absolutely.
Um, I've been denied. I've I live in denial of neglection. So being in and living in neglection, and not being able to move forward in my life, you're going to experience homelessness.
Right.
So I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't do
Mhm.
nothing. Not saying like, it's just the fact that if you're homeless, you shouldn't be drinking and smoking. You should be
Right.
working on your life. So that's what I
Absolutely.
did, and I worked on my life while I was homeless. I did everything that I was trying my hardest to, and I
Right.
would just get denied and neglected, neglection and neglection and neglection and denied and denied.
Wow.
And I found myself having to live with my auntie's basement. And when
Mhm.
I lived, when it was just you trying your hardest. You're not sitting around the house. I didn't sit around the house, play video games, kick it with the
Right.
homeboys. I'm trying. I'm actually trying. So this is why I wanted to bring more awareness to this situation, because
Absolutely.
I was actually trying. I mean, trying so hard to get work and just keep going and going. And
Right.
I would just keep getting. You have to get that taken care of before you get this job. So I tried to
Absolutely.
go downtown at the state of Indiana, and they would deny me for trying to
Mhm.
get um to taking it off my record. So they
Right.
wouldn't remove it from my record. So when they wouldn't remove it from my record, it's like I was found not guilty.
Right.
So Since I was found not guilty and I proved my innocence in at trial,
Right.
how can you not
Why
take
won't
this?
they just expunge it from your record?
Why they was taking? Well, I found out later on too is that it's not even an expungable crime because I was found not guilty. This is how the law. This is how the government and the law do things. Like um, they want to win. They want to say that we're the ultimate, and that's it. It's all
Wow.
about our purity, and you're a civilian. That's why they start using words like that. I start seeing that later on in life where they use words like civilian. It's kind of it's kind of so disingenuine. It's distant. It's not real. It's like you're using a word because civilian as if you're not a person as well. It's
Right.
like, and they doing that to keep what they call the word military industrial complex to keep
Mhm.
from a pass down, like you're gonna be down below us when in fact it's like, hey, I was innocent. I was at
Right.
work. I'm
Right.
innocent. So you guys are wrong. So
Right.
you shouldn't have that on my record at all. You actually failed me as a like, as the public, I mean, as anybody else would say, that the government, the system failed me. The
Right.
system completely failed me. But they didn't just fail me. They don't have. It's not over.
Right.
So people like to say that, and I hear people like the Eskenazis will tell me like the system failed you. No, like I'm still living. I'm still alive.
Right. You hear?
Yeah, so like, how could the system fail me when we're still living? The common sense factor is that I'm innocent.
Right.
So since I'm innocent, the system didn't fail me. So why are you guys not working to do your diligence to do right by what happened to me?
Right.
We're still alive. You're still alive. We're
Right.
still alive. What Nothing is stopping. That's why I say it's negativity. There's this enemy thing that's happened where people love negativity. They don't love to look at the fact that, hey, wait a minute. We got an innocent person. I had
Right.
to look at myself in the third person. I didn't want to do that because that's so big headed. But it's like you got a person. I had to come out of myself and look at the situation like you got a person who didn't do the crime. It's easily they proved he wasn't there. You can easily just take it off his record,
Right.
rehash the situation, and not string him along. And I was strung along. I had to go out
Mm-hmm.
here and try to get a job, and I couldn't get it. So once
Mm-hmm.
that happened, I think the last straw was that I a temp agency. I tried to get a job at a temp agency, man.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't even give me a temp agency wouldn't even give me a job.
Really? That's
Yeah.
wow. Wow. Man.
So when I found out that a temp agency, I couldn't even get a job with a temp agency, I
Wow.
cried. I
Wow.
literally cried.
And I know that took a lot because as we spoke about earlier, it's hard for you. You said you could hardly ever cry, even when it first
I
happened.
cried. I cried like I cried. And then I had a cousin. He came down from Ohio, and he wanted. I haven't seen him since I was a little boy, and he came
Wow.
down from Ohio, and he ended up trying to get in some trouble, trying to bring trouble my way. And at one point, and I was trying to get him. I was trying to tell him not to do something
Right.
because of what happened to me. So I'm
Right.
trying to talk to him. He trying to talk to me because I'm little cuz. You know what I'm saying? And it
Right.
hurts to see your cousin doing something. You trying to tell him like, hey
I
man,
tell them.
you trying to give him the real. You trying to
Yeah.
see this as a different situation.
Right.
Don't do it. Just hear
Right.
me.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right.
And he decided to do it. And the police ended up catching him. And when the police called
Right.
him, his phone number was my phone number was in his phone. So they called
Oh.
me. So they called. No, they didn't lock me up, or I didn't have
Yeah.
anything, nothing. But they did call me, and they tried
Called
to do
you.
that. Yeah, they called me, and that's when, at the same time that I was, because see, you got to remember, I wasn't hanging with anybody, I wasn't doing anything. I'm just steady trying to work on my life. So
Right.
it's kind of deadly when a person comes around you at any time, and it sucks, man. It is like that, you know what I mean? Because I'm the type of person where it's like, oh, and people be like, oh, you ain't keeping it real. You always in the house. You always, and it's just like you don't really realize that I just went through a trial I had nothing to do with. I
Right.
didn't I had to move a certain way, and I'm
Right.
trying my best to do everything I'm trying to get out. I don't like living in this situation. I don't like being broke. I don't like being in a household when I'm working hard to not be broke. when I'm working
Right.
trying to get a job and I'm doing everything, I'm not doing anything, but just
Right.
trying to change my life. And in the
Absolutely.
midst of this, you still got stuff that just is just like you gonna have to do. You want to just, and it's like I'm not gonna sell drugs. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm gonna try to
Right.
get a job. I'm gonna try to do everything that my parents, everything that my so-called community train me to be,
Right.
and still not getting any support from them.
Right.
Still gotten any support. So um I kid you not, once I didn't get that job with the what do you call it?
Temp agency.
Yeah, the temp agency. Thank you. I'm getting older, man. And
It's all right.
once the
I'm
temp
with you.
agency, thank you, man. It's like once the temp agency denied me, um, I was just like, and then my cousin, the police called me,
Hmm.
and they was like, "Oh, he said you had something to do." Cops doing
Trying to,
scam,
yeah, do little tricks.
like just. And I'm not saying all cops. It's just
Yeah.
people, man. Just type of people, man. It's just like I just cried, man. I cried like hard, man, and in front of my auntie. And my auntie always knew me to be strong in that aspect, and I cried really hard. And I got on Craigslist and I looked for a ride share
Hmm.
to leave Indianapolis,
Hmm.
and I got the ride share. Somebody picked me up. It was either going to be New York or LA because I wanted to expand my job hunting. I felt like I was looking for. I was completed with Indianapolis, looking for work, looking, doing everything that I can to get some support, to add people to get some attention
Right.
to what's happening. And it was like I had to go somewhere else. I had to do something else. So I
Start fresh.
fresh, yeah, and try to try to push on. You know what I mean? Try to like
Yeah.
because I'm still
Yeah.
me. It still happened to me. I got to keep myself. So I just like I got to push on. So I said,
Absolutely.
all right, cool. The first person to call was a person. I seen a person going to New York, and I seen a person going to LA.
Right.
And the person who called first was LA. And
Off to LA.
I came to LA, and I got here to LA, and I had no money. I had $5 in my pocket.
Wow.
The person who I rode with um, had me stay with them at their. I stayed in Nipsey neighborhood. I stayed in the
You was in
60s.
Crenshaw?
Yeah, that's what I say. The story is so crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's
What,
so
what,
crazy.
what year? What year you touched down in Crenshaw?
2011. 2011. I lived in Hyde Park and West. If you look up where Hyde Park and West in Los Angeles is, right there, 60 rolling 60s neighborhood is where I lived.
Wow. How was
Yeah.
that? How was being over there? Did you ever go like once? I know you've been here for a while. Did you ever go to the Marathon store when Nipsey was alive? Have you ever saw Nipsey hustle?
Oh yeah, I met Nipsey Hussle when I was in New York City. So I met
Okay.
Nipsey. Yeah, I met Nipsey outside of Hot 97 because again, I'm music producer, so I made beats. So people
Yeah.
think like that's what I love about Dylan Avery when he did his documentary with me on me is because Dylan he did pro. I thought it was kind of like nah man, Dylan don't put me making beats on there. Like I thought it was
Yeah.
like, but Dylan was trying to showcase me on that documentary as like a person. You know what I
Right.
mean? Showcase me like that, and I didn't really look at it. I felt like, oh man, they gonna see me as a somebody, trying to do something. You know how white folks see black
Yeah.
folks; they see us always as whatever,
Yeah.
whatever, and it's just like, man, they gonna see me in the wrong light, man, and I don't
Right.
want them to think of me like that. And
Right.
he was like, nah, nah, I want to show you, case you who you are. I don't
Right.
want them to
The
this.
person.
Yeah, and I love it. So I made beats and I met Nipsey outside of Hot 97 because I
Wow.
wasn't like the thug in the street. I was the one, I'm not saying like not like that, you know what I mean? I'm just saying like I
Hmm.
wasn't in the streets like that. I was just
Right.
I was in the streets though with my beats, but I
Right.
wasn't in the streets, I was on the streets on business like for my beats and then I go back home to the
Right.
lab to make beats. So but I met Nipsey at Hot 97. He was pretty cool, interaction. He was with
Yeah.
Karen Civil, who used to manage Nipsey at the time, and that's when I met Nipsey. But I didn't meet him when I lived in Rolling 60s neighborhood. I didn't even
Um.
know about the Marathon store at the
Oh,
time.
you didn't? You never went to the marathon store up
I
there
went I went after he passed.
after he
I didn't
passed?
yeah, I didn't even know
That's
much
crazy.
about it. I just I lived but I lived there. I lived at Hyde Park on West, Will's liquor store. I lived right by Will's
In
liquor
in the
store.
marathon store is probably what, up the block from you.
Yeah, it's literally walking distance, right up the street, right up the street where I live.
Wow, you never been there?
No, I didn't go. I didn't ever go inside. I still well, I guess it's
Wow,
shut down now, so no, I never been inside. Nope,
it's a
never
mile,
been inside.
right? Is it still there or is,
Uh, I I haven't been back over there too long. I seen it was last time I was over over. I live over like in the valley now. I live like in Burbank, so
okay?
yeah. So which I lived in '60s. You know what I mean? Like I lived in the
Yeah.
'60s. I lived in the '60s for 50. I mean for 5 years. I said 50 years for 5 years. So
But how was did any of those Rolling 60 Crip members ever
it's
try to?
nothing like it's nothing. So that's the thing. Here for me, for a person that lived there, that's on positive, not gang banging, is not nothing. It's
Yeah.
nothing like what people think it is. That's a
Really?
lie. That is a bald faced lie that the Puritans, right? The Puritans make out because that's what they really call themselves, the Puritans. Make
Okay.
up. They and people who want that imagery to happen. My God, man, that's the best. If I will live anywhere in LA, I live in Burbank. I live in Burbank.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I want to, this is my first time living in a suburban area.
Mm-hmm.
Burbank is beautiful. It's quiet. It's the best place to live in. Well, it's like the most quietest place you can live in all LA.
Yeah.
I kid you not. I want to live my place where I want to live. If I had any place, if I have $1 billion, I
Yeah.
would live in Baldwin Hills. That's
Really?
right. That's the six. That's right. Rolling '60s neighborhood, Baldwin Hills.
Really?
I would live there. No, I kid you not. The individuals were so community. They are so nice, kind individuals around there. No,
Really?
I never got pressed one time where
I was
somebody
about to
walked.
ask you, did you wear like red one day and they'd be like, "Hey, yo, cuz, what's that,
Nah,
cuz?"
never. Never like that, man. It's nothing like that. Like it's I'm not saying that
What?
I'm not saying and see the thing about LA sometimes is that people and I know we're going a little bit off topic, but it's like the people about LA sometimes they do have some individuals who want to give LA a a bad rep because they want that image to say, hey cuz or blood, don't mess with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of thing. And don't get it messed up. Don't get it messed up. It does go down. A lot of fighting happens here. They fight a lot.
They call it phase down there, right? They
Yeah,
call
they
it phase.
fade. Yeah, and I didn't know.
They
I
run
didn't
the fade
understand.
down there.
Yeah, and all of that. I see. I honestly, I think all of it's. I think all of it's a waste of time. Like when you have this beautiful, like when I first moved to LA, and I came, like when I first came to LA, and I
Yeah.
was in where I lived there, I was like, wow, this neighborhood is beautiful. And this is
Wow.
what they call the hood. This is what they call the and I
I see
didn't
number
mean
palm trees.
yeah, I didn't mean no disrespect towards LA at all. I just meant
Right.
like my visual, coming from Indianapolis where we got rundown areas and we got trap houses and we got this and we got that. And then
I
you
heard
get to
Gary,
LA.
Indiana. Not to cut you off. I heard Gary, Indiana's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Oh man, Gary.
I heard Gary's the hood hood.
Gary looks bad, and then so for me coming from, and we have the same type of sections in Indianapolis. Not maybe as ran down because Gary has a lot of rundown all over, but
Wow.
Indianapolis does have that sections in Indianapolis. This is the accurate truth. I don't know how it's being built now, being rebuilt, but I just tell you that in LA when I first came, I lived in '60s, and then just to go all the way into it, just to not hold you up too much longer.
No, it's
Um,
all right.
I
Speak your
ended
mind,
up
brother.
I ended up was gonna trip you out. I ended up like moving there and I had $5 in my pocket in the Rolling
Wow.
60s neighborhood. My uncle happened to live in LA. I didn't want to come. My idea was coming to LA was not to like kind of meet with family. I didn't
Right.
want to do anything no more with family. I just wanted to just kind of start, like you said, fresh.
Start fresh.
I wanted to start fresh. And when I
Right.
got to LA, my mother ended up calling my uncle. She was worried about me, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
a mother's
Absolutely.
love. So she called my
Absolutely.
uncle and my uncle reached out and I
Mm.
was like, all right, yeah, like that type of thing. and
Yeah.
so I ended up going over there with his where his ex-wife is, and which is still like
Okay.
family and stuff. And then I would find myself transitioning back and forth with them and my where I was with $5 in my pocket still. And I
Yeah.
ended up seeing a role on Craigslist because Craigslist was my everything at that time, man.
Yeah.
It was like everything you had to do. And I kid you not, man, if you want to do the research, it was a tsunami that happened in Japan at that time. I never
Uh huh.
forget. Because we got the warnings here in LA. And
Yeah.
I put in for the NBA All-Star game 2011 and I worked for the NBA. I got hired. That was my first little job that I got hired to work the
Dope.
NBA also. Yeah. And so the same people that I worked with TNT and I was able
Hmm.
I didn't get paid for it, but I was able to say that I was able to get
Build relationships.
with the NBA. Yeah. So I actually did get to actually do something with the NBA. And
That's
it happened
dope.
to be my actual first thing I did when I got to LA. But then I got an audition for Buick. And I auditioned. And when I went for this audition, I was late. I was running. Man, I was running. I had a $5 in my pocket. Literally,
Yeah.
I didn't have no. Literally, still had this $5 and kind of like scrambling. Like I know you're not gonna believe this, man. I had to dumpster dive the whole nine. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was living hard. Yeah, yeah. Living hard.
What?
Yeah, this is how like just like that. And I got plenty of people who like the same people who I rode down with, they dumpster dived. This type of community. They all lived in this community where they all was creators and they all was trying their best to just put their money together to live together. And
Right.
all of them accepted me in. And I had to live like they lived. I lived where they lived. And I kid you not, I put in for this Buick commercial
Hmm.
and man, I didn't know my way around LA. And I had my book bag, and I was running towards the bus to catch the bus for this audition, and it was falling off me, and I was just like so embarrassing, man, running for this bus to catch the bus. And
Hmm.
I got on the bus, and I was the last person seen. I was like the last person seen by Dan Bell's casting, and
Well,
I got a call back. I got the call back. Yeah, man, God, man, let's
oh,
check this out, man. Like you talking about completely nothing, man.
wow.
And I got the call back. I ended up getting this call back, and I got invited to the second audition. I got to the second audition. This was the final audition. Got to this audition, man. Mind you, I have no money. I have no money at this time. Uh,
Mm.
I get there, and I'm doing the audition, and they ended up. It was a basketball commercial.
Oh, wow.
You see where I'm going with this,
Everything
right?
is coming like full circle.
That's why I'm. This is what I'm trying to make people see. God in this situation.
Full
It was a
circle moment.
basketball commercial, yeah, for Buick and the NAACP. I'm sorry, no,
Wow.
not the NAACP, but NCAA. I'm sorry, NCAA.
NCAA. Okay.
This is my
Okay.
old mind saying
It's
NAACP.
all
Don't
right.
mind.
It's all right.
um, so, so, so I couldn't believe it, man. And I went
Yeah.
there and I seen all these guys, man. These guys has been in commercials and movies, and I'm just fresh from Indianapolis, and
Yeah.
I'm broken. I'm joke. I don't have nothing at all. And I
Hmm.
was like, yo, like I did my part. And I thought I'm sitting here looking like, man, this guy's gonna get the part. I'm saying to myself, man, he's gonna get the part. This guy was good. I'm
Yeah.
telling my part. I'm not thinking I'm gonna get this part at all. I'm saying
Right.
this guy's got this part. And I really still to this day, this guy's good. I'm like, all of these great dunkers, man, they are great. You know what I'm saying? And so happened DeMar DeRozan was the reason for me getting chosen because DeMar DeRozan, this director, wanted somebody who fit that looked like DeMar DeRozan as a
Right.
basketball player when he seen him. He wanted to see
Right.
DeMar DeRozan. So this
Right.
director seen me.
Right.
He thought that I fit. He thought that I fit the quota, and
Okay.
so happened to get chosen for the main basketball dunker for this Buick commercial. I went to the shoot. I got the call back. I had my name on the star on the door.
Nice.
Got on set. Um, like mind you, this isn't something that I thought would happen. You know you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
understand.
sometimes a lot of people see jealousy and with me,
Yeah.
and I'm saying like you have to understand this is something that like I just told people like I got charged for a crime I didn't commit, man. I was
Right.
homeless, eating out of the trash can,
Right.
sleeping on like real like for real. Like this is not a joke. I really
Right.
was. And to actually walk in, man, when I walked in, I had my book bag with me with my basketball shoes in there.
Uh,
And just to look back over it, and I get there and they have a craft table, and I'm like, yo, could I get one of them suckers? They all laughed at me, man. They was just like, man, oh, that's right. This is your first one. This your first thing. Man, this is for you.
wow.
And I'm just like, really? So I just grabbed my sucker, went back to
Yeah.
my went back to my dressing room, and the guy that was in the dressing room, he was somebody who did it. He was telling him his name was Brandon. He's actually Kobe Bryant's double in real life, and he
Oh,
was telling,
dope.
yeah, and he was just telling me he was on Love and the Restless and all this story. I'm just listening to him and hearing him telling me. For them, it's just whatever, whatever. For them, for me,
Yeah.
it's so I'm so grateful. I can't believe that
Wow.
this is happening. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So and I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to even be doing this. And when I got on set, director talked to me, introduced himself to me. And people were saying my name. I'm like, oh shoot, how they know my name? I'm thinking I'm a nothing. I'm just ready for I'm because I'm been told I've been nothing all my life. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying?
look at that.
So yeah, man. So I'm just like, wow, I can't believe this is really happening. And
Wow.
uh, he said, "Man, we work for you." That's what the director told me. We work for you, and I just couldn't believe what he said. I'm just like, I still follow his directions anyway. You know what I mean? Because it's my team,
Absolutely.
and they know what needs. They know what needs help with. And a long story short, I'm gonna try to make this long story short.
Go ahead.
Um,
Uh-huh.
that commercial aired during NCAA March Madness, and
Is it on
everybody.
YouTube? Is it on YouTube?
I don't know if it's still on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely send that to me.
But the crazy part about it is I got SAG eligible to join the Screen Actors Guild. And that was like a college degree for me. That was like a new shot in life for me. It was special for me.
Dope.
It was special for me because after being charged for a crime I didn't commit and having nothing to look forward to in life, when I'm
Right.
trying my hardest for something and I still got this crime on my record, I
Right.
have no kind of nothing for me, just me in life. You got me.
Right.
Everybody else got something. I'm seeing my friends go to the army. I'm seeing my friends get married. I'm seeing people have something in their life to something that and I'm proud of them. I'm not looking back at them in hateful
Right.
comments. I'm proud
Right.
of them, and I'm
Right.
genuinely is.
Right.
We won. This won. This is a Telly Award.
Whoa, that's dope, man. Congratulations.
The
What,
commercial won a Telly
oh, the
Award.
commercial won that?
Yeah, the very first thing that I did. Yeah, the
Oh,
very first thing. The very
wow.
first
Look
thing.
at that.
So God, when individuals speak and say stuff, it just be like you don't know that you talking about something that God actually did.
Mm.
Not I did. God did.
Amen. Amen.
You know what I mean? So
Amen.
so it was like it really, really worked at it. I didn't cheat to do it. I
Right.
didn't I had a cousin say, oh, I mean, just people, man, they say some of the most horrible things. I had a cousin
Yeah.
say, oh, you must have been out there sleeping with the transsexuals and like craziest stuff that people hate on
Wow.
them for nothing,
Crazy.
man. The craziest stuff. And it's
Crazy.
just like, they're like, yo, don't you know that I'm your blood, I'm your people's? I'm a part of your story. I'm with you, and you speak on me like that, man. Like we here. This is us. This is us. Like whatever happens, the state of Indiana, the government. Look at what happened to me.
Right.
And look at what's going on. Look at what God is doing. You
Right.
supposed to be teaming up with me.
Right.
We supposed to be on God's side. We walking with God, not with the
Right.
state. Look at what the state did. Look at how they ignored me. Look at what they did.
Right.
This a God walk. We all supposed to be
Right.
in this together. We all
Right.
supposed to be walking together. So I can't get people to see it that way and to
Uh,
see how what's actually going on, to not give into the negative energy, to give into the positive energy. And
you
let's
wanna
give into the positive.
you wanna hear something so crazy, man? That everything that you're saying, man. And
Yeah.
because I read a lot. I read a lot. I read Kobe's book. and I read a whole bunch of other slew of other books. I just love reading, right? And Kobe, to paraphrase Kobe, because it's not his exact words, but just to paraphrase him, he basically said something with the sentiments, basically saying that you reach your true potential when you're alone. You understand what he's trying to say? Like, if you notice, Kobe didn't hang out with the other NBA players like that. They thought he was weird. He was a loner. He was always working on his craft, working, trying to figure it out. So as much as you would wanted to have these people to quote unquote be around you and support you, even during your time, just like how you have a relationship with God, when you alone, sometimes that could bring the best out of you, if you understand what I mean.
I'm
So
an only child. Yep.
you're the only child. You're
I,
the
I
only child.
I know. Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, I got two brothers and two sisters, but still, at the same time, there's nobody in life that's gonna believe in you more than yourself. Even though you have these family members and cousins and brothers, sisters, everybody got their own thing going on. Everybody's in their own world.
Of
Everybody trying to reach
course.
their own greatness.
Now, of course, and as
You
they
can't
should
ex-
be.
you can't expect, even if they're your family, you can't expect nobody to go as hard for you more than you're gonna go for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what made Kobe so great. That's what made
And
Jordan
that's
so great.
and that's why we here right now on this interview right now,
And
right?
that's why we here right now.
To spread this to try to like kind of like
Oh
put
yeah.
words out on what has actually been done. And I don't want this to happen to somebody else, like to be swept under the rug like this, because I mean it's the things that has occurred like to this day, man, trying to pick up the pieces from me in my life, trying to pick
Hmm.
up the pieces from that has been extremely hard. And I'm here to say that right now. It's been extremely neglected and hard. It's just
Mm.
hard, man. It's hard. It's completely hard. And anybody, and I will always never been a complainer. I just kind of be like, everybody else, they'll complain and get their due. They money for whatever happened. I just thought it was a simple understanding. I was the person
Yeah.
that thought it was just a simple understanding, misunderstanding.
Right.
And to really look back on it and ignore it, not say nothing about it because I was always quiet about it. Really,
Right.
um, nah. I gotta speak up a little bit more about this because um, what's actually going on that you don't see is not is you see the trophy, you see the things, but I live in Burbank or this that. But if it was not for that situation happening, I would have been
Mhm.
financially free,
Right.
financially free. I wouldn't have to pick up pieces all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't have to been staying on the street. When people say, "Oh, what's the homeless issue? What's going on?" Maybe you
Hmm.
guys are the issue for what's going on. It ain't just the people. You know what I
Right.
mean? A lot of people say from top down, they say it's the people. And no, it's easy for you to say that when you live in a home the way you live in, and then you
Right.
look down at the people that's living on the streets, and you don't
Right.
know that everybody's not out in the streets doing what they're not supposed to do.
Right.
So it's like, what about them? You don't care about them.
Right.
So I think like it's somebody out there. I don't know who it is, but it's like I could pass away. I'm getting older. That's why I'm looking at the situation like I'm getting older and I still haven't gotten that this right here. That's why I'm grateful for you. I'm
Yeah.
grateful
Absolutely.
for this. Yeah. Like I don't take none of this for granted. And a lot of people, that's the problem. They take stuff for granted from the top down. All these
Mhm.
individuals, they taking it for granted because they got it.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, it's like you can't take that type of things for granted. Even when I got it or don't got it, you cannot take it for granted because look at what's happening. You know what I mean? Look at what happened. So so and people, I think it's just hopefully individuals will wake up and start seeing things for what it is. Is that a lot of individuals um, are not grateful. They just
Right.
not grateful, and you got to be grateful with your life, what you have, what you could do with, and then when all else falls, like I wasn't really big on Kanye. I made beats before knowing who Kanye was. It's a long story,
Mhm.
but oh, and that's another thing too. When I got to LA, I gave my beats to Razkaz, and I don't know if you heard of
I heard
Razkaz.
of Razzcast, the rapper. Yeah, of course. Come
Yeah,
on
yeah,
now.
man.
I'm a hip
And I
hop
got
head
my
now. Come on now.
man, and I got a record with Bun B and Razkaz. So
Woo! You got yo.
yeah.
Listen, everything that you're talking about, I want you. You got my contact. I want you
Oh,
to
I'm gonna send. I send it. Yeah, I send
send
all
it to me.
anything.
But
I love that you said that because like sometimes people they always feel that I'm just whatever, whatever, and they'd be like, okay, yeah, let me send it to you so you can.
send it to me. I want to
Yes,
hear it. I
please
want to. I want to support it.
challenge me on that. Challenge, it's okay. You know, if like people be like, oh, you're a liar. Okay, well, let's challenge me on that. Dude. Come on, let's challenge. You know what I mean? You did a crime you didn't do. Okay, well then challenge me on that situation, man, and find
Mhm.
out if I'm actually a liar. You got me? So, and then you find out that I'm actually not lying. So then what now? You know what I
Right,
mean? Where's my check at, state of Indiana? You got
right,
me?
100%.
Like, where's the check for all the people that put me in their homes? You know what I'm saying? About the
Right,
communities that put me in their homes. You know what I mean? Hey, where's my check? They get silent. You know what I mean? They don't
right.
answer the phone. They
I was
don't.
about to I was about to ask you that, but before I get into my last two questions, I was about to ask you: was there any retribution back to you for the situation? Like you just said, you saying, "Where's my check at?" Did any?
That's why I'm
Obviously,
here.
let's just say it again. I want to make this completely clear. This man was completely innocent. He was charged for a crime that he did not do. The state of Indiana didn't even want to take it off his record, and now he had a hard time getting opportunities that he deserved, basically,
And homeless
because of this.
because of it. Yeah,
And he was
because
homeless
of it.
at a point. He was homeless at one point because of this.
Yep. And
Okay.
it's just me. It's just me, the community, the whole entire community. I mean, it's not a lot of individuals, again, like I said, they can only do so much. And I'm grateful for each and every one of them. I mean, from Terrence Way, who brought me into his home, to my mother,
Salute.
to my
Salute.
I call her my grandmother, but it's my great aunt Helen, to my
Salute to
mother
them.
Aretha Luster, to all the
Salute to them.
community, to oh my God, so many people. If I'm not naming your name right now, just know that that does not mean that you are not important. I will name your name if I have to. I just want to for my man's time right now. I do not want for Thrilly's time. I do not want to waste his time too much
It's no
and
waste,
everything
brother.
because
Listen, man.
we've been on this phone call. But for every last individuals who
You
don't think
good.
that do not think that I am not grateful, do not get it ever misconstrued at all. I'm more than grateful that you can ever even know you have no, and that's the reason why I'm doing this interview right now. That's why I
Absolutely.
say it shouldn't be no jealousy. No, that's the state of Indiana. The state of Indiana owes me, and I hate saying owes me. They owe us all.
Oh, a
They
lot of
owe us
people.
all. And a lot of I used to hear old men that used to say, "No, don't nobody owe you nothing. They don't owe you nothing." Right? Because I used to listen a lot. I'm the type of person. Again, I listened because I
Right.
didn't do everything, so I listened.
Right.
That's not technically true all the time. Like they actually all the funds that was spent on me to help me through something that I was mistaken identified, or I don't somebody told me never to use that word too because maybe I was set
Mhm.
up. Something I
Right.
don't know because I don't know who these people are, what happened. All
Right.
I know is that my name was put into something that I had nothing to do with. I was at work.
And he was about to say that, and he was at work that day, and he has proof that he was at work that day.
Yep. So I had time cards. My employer came in. I worked for Eli Lilly. Um, I, I, I mean, how much more proof can you? I mean, again, challenge me. I don't know. I don't know what to say in that.
Right.
Until I died, whenever I die, whenever I leave, it's still gonna be the same. It's still gonna be the same. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I wasn't even there.
Right.
Got the
Right.
wrong person. So
You know what this reminds me of? But similar but different scenarios. That movie Life. With I don't know
that's
if you ever
my
saw that
favorite
movie.
movie, man. That's my
That's my
favorite.
favorite
One of my
movie of
favorite movies.
all
Yeah,
time.
comedy
Of
movie.
all
That's my
time.
favorite. Yep, that's my
That's my
favorite
favorite
movie.
movie of all. Me and my father.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
our favorite movie of all time. I love
That's
that
one.
movie. Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
That's
Love it.
one of my favorite movies, man. You know, it sucks, man, because I be having favorite movies and like Gladiator, Man on Fire, and Menace to Society has been like my top three. But Life, I always forget about Life, and Life is always one of my favorite movies, man. I always forget about it, but I always say it when I see it, but I forget. But yeah, Life is it's so important. because you're right. You are 100% right, man. And that's why I say, like when people talk, I think people don't listen to what you just said is so important, because if you go back and look at my life and you look at the movie Life and you look at how like all the people that passed away after, going through the situation, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's
Yep.
exactly the same thing. It is the
Yep.
exact same thing. And maybe I may not come out, because people are evil, man. People are wicked, man. It's
They
just
are
stuff
wicked people out here.
like it's just and it's the thing that's in them. It's the thing that's in them. They like to hold on to the jokes, like you don't realize that the individuals is going through that. So one thing that I do realize also is that as a believer of God is
Yeah.
that we have to die with Christ. So when dying with Christ, Yeshua, not Jesus, but Yeshua, um,
Uh-huh.
is that we dying with Him. In the midst of dying with Christ, sometimes is things like this occur for other known reasons that I don't understand. Maybe that could be the problem that I'm going through right now. It could
Right.
possibly just be that. It could be just God really like, look, you dying with me, so they killed you. Like I even wrote a script on the movie on my story. It's a long story, man. It's just like I'm trying to push the script to individuals to understand that I would love to tell you the ending, but it's just like it's like maybe I'm meant to die in that area of the basketball situation. Maybe I was meant to die off like this. Um, but it's like I, I look at it as just like, but I didn't do the crime. You know what I mean? I was innocent. Well, Christ was innocent. You know what I mean? Christ was innocent as well. But everybody always see that's the problem with me, man. It's just like I always see people looking for excuses when there's solvable situations. You know what I mean? Like they could actually go push the button to remove it from my record. You know what I mean? But people like to use Christianity, like people being Christians. Evil people like to use Christians, like
Right.
what we supposed to live by as Christians, as the point of saying, hey, ain't you supposed to be a Christian? You supposed to uh die off with Christ. Like, it's like to cover their excuses for them being in charge of just going in their state house and just removing what they actually done. They
Right.
use they do that as a funny. You know what I mean? They do that
Right.
as funny towards Christians too. So, because Christians are attacked. And that
Right.
could be a way of me being attacked as well. Um,
100%. Be the most.
yeah,
Be the most attacked. The most.
yeah, so I,
The
I
most.
look at I look at that and I look at that and I say I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's a game. I don't think
Not at all.
Christians should lay down and die all the
Right.
time, because he was resurrected. So
Yes.
Christ was resurrected, and there's a resurrection process in that as well. So people ask me to lay down and die. I've had the Eskenazi, Mr. Deskenazi, to people asking me to lay down and die. You know what I mean? To just go ahead, just go on with your life, just lay down and die. And I don't appreciate people telling me that. I want people to understand that about me. I don't
Right.
appreciate you telling me to go down and lay down and die when in fact I didn't have nothing to do with this crime, and
Exactly.
everybody else is going to go through the same exact situation as well,
Exactly.
and it creates a trend. And I just seen a man the other day. He got locked up for a crime he didn't commit, and he got
Uh-huh.
released. He was in jail for a long time, and
Uh-huh.
people use that on me too, man. They use that too as another little funny thing that they like to do. They like to say, "Oh, this is another joke that they do." Right? Check this out. They'll be like, "I'm just trying to show you how evil and wicked people are towards me." Like they'll say, like, "Oh, it's somebody that went to jail for a crime they didn't commit, and they went to jail for a long time. You need to be glad about that and just move on like that." And just to, so
Nah.
I can just
Come on.
so and
Nah.
they do that, and it's as if I don't look as if I don't see their situation as serious as well. And I just say, like, don't you realize that person is still me too when you say that? You're still talking about the same person. And that man, I can't think of his name right now. He just got out of jail and he said something on TV. He got his time to actually go viral in one way, but hey, this conversation we have can go viral. You know what
It
I'm saying?
could.
I never,
Definitely
you
could.
see what I'm saying? That's why I say it's
Mm-hmm.
like you never know where life can be, what can
Yeah.
happen, where this,
Absolutely.
this, this. So that's why it's so important to stay positive. that man that said that on his he was able to be viewed on this actual network, and they actually put him out, and he actually said in his interview, he said, I don't understand this thing. I knew exactly what he meant.
Yeah.
I knew what he meant. A lot of people don't understand that. I
Right.
know I felt him. I felt like I felt him. You know, I mean, I felt like I knew he was fighting the same fight that I'm fighting. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like he may have been through his situation that seemed to one person harsher, yet
Right.
we share the same mission. The same mission you sitting here talking about trying to shun me because of what his was more harsher in one aspect, but you don't know mine's could possibly be more harsher. His is
Exactly.
considerably harsher. You got me? It doesn't
Exactly.
matter about whether it's being more harsher. What's
Right.
more important is the what he's actually saying and what I'm actually saying. It's the
Right.
point of is that it needs to be attention brought to the fact that individuals are getting charged for crimes they did not commit,
Did not commit.
and people find that to be it's a secret place in that where people hide and laugh and get
Mhm.
away with murder in that,
Right.
and that situation is causing a lot of problems, and that's what he was actually saying when he was actually saying it on that network. It's a secret place where people aren't really taking this serious, that
Yeah.
there is a a person's life is actually taken as innocent. And I don't understand why nobody's talking about it. I'm gonna share what he said. I don't understand why nobody's really talking about this or people
Right.
paying attention
Right.
because I didn't do it. I didn't have nothing to do with it. So if I didn't have nothing to do with it, you get it. You know what I mean? We'll get it. But
Definitely. Yep. hundred
it's
percent.
just this thing, though, man. No, it's just this thing, though. Sometimes, like where it's and I've been told don't move on with it. I've been literally told by lawyers. I've been told by, and it seems like it's threats. It's been more kind of threatening than anything. I've
Wow.
been told by people like, don't move forward with it. Don't this, don't that. And I'm like, so what are you
Mm.
saying? What I'm starting to find out is that it's kind of like the UFO, like the UFO people. They try to
Right.
move on with their thing. They get threatened. They get whatever, whatever by moving on by whatever this, because they don't want to be called wrong.
Right.
They don't want to be told that they are incorrect on what they
Mhm.
have done, and they need to take accountability for what they have done to individuals. Nobody wants to hear that, and I believe that's what's happening in our community.
And you know
Go,
what I'm gonna
good
say
job.
too, just to touch on what you just
Job.
said. I don't care if it's even one day. I would be me personally. I was sent to jail for something I didn't do for one day, not let alone 2 months. One day, I would be devastated. Devastated. I would be so upset.
Man, go
So
at them
upset.
hard. Listen, if that ever happens to you, oh, can I say that too? If that ever happens to you or any person, I think I've never said this in an interview or nothing, but if that ever,
Mhm.
because it has happened to me, and I can't believe that this, like, for individuals to know, when I talk, I can't believe this happened to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
That type of thing. So I didn't expect this to happen to me. But for it to happen to me, to pass it down to anybody, if I was to die tomorrow, just to let you know, hit them hard. Go at them immediately. Do not, like you just said, exactly what you said, because we did not know. We don't like they play on time. They play on, oh, it's too late for you now, or they play on any type of way that they don't want to take accountability.
Right.
I'm not saying this day or whoever is in charge, whoever's the individual that's pointing the finger saying you did this and you didn't do it, whoever that person is,
Mhm.
because they're going to point at you, say you didn't do the crime. Then you're going to sit back and probably think to yourself, oh, well, I mean, maybe you're a different type of person. Like you said, you're different. You know what I mean? You probably be like, man, I'm not going to take one day. And you, like you
Not a
said, right?
day.
That's right. And I love that.
Not one
I
day.
love that. And I love that because my attitude of the time was I was just like, oh, so much understanding. Like, oh, man, maybe it's just a problem with the state. Maybe it was just an issue with the state and they probably just got the wrong person. And I'm going to be a citizen with the state. A citizen, as they say, like. like as they tell you to be. They tell you to be a citizen of this, and
Mhm.
I am being a citizen. Whether I was being understanding or not, I'm still a citizen. So
Did you
if
ever? Not to come. Sorry to cut you off, but did you ever reach out to like an activist, like a black activist?
Man, oh, I'm glad you asking all the right questions. Now, for real, I've reached out to these companies, these folks, and they treat you the exact same way. Your situation is not as hard. That's why I love people, individuals, not people, individuals like you. And I'm grateful for you. I say that right now. I give you your flowers right now, right? I'm grateful for you for doing this because when when an individual look at your circumstances, they're looking at your circumstances based off of how how harsh it is, how harsher it is.
Mhm.
Were you in jail for um 30 years, 40 years, 100 years? If somebody was in jail for 100 years, 20 years, 30 years, I don't care if they was in jail for a day for a crime they didn't commit. I don't believe that that person should be swept under the rug at
I
all
agree.
or
I
at
agree.
all. I agree
I
with
agree.
you. I'm agreeing with you, right? I'm going on the thing because I was the person that I was the understanding. I was more understanding, and that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. When I as I look at it, it's like, oh man, I was so wrong. I was understanding and being a citizen. Like when a cop tells you, right? They tell you, they always say this joke about black folks, and they say blacks don't pay attention to what they're told to do. Well, what about that black person that's always joked about that actually did it, right?
Right.
What about me? Right?
Right.
I'm still black. What about me? Right? If I'm considered a sellout, what about me? Right? What about that black person that did put their hands on I'm not saying that because we got laws and we got things and liberties that we don't have to put our hands. We don't have to do that, right?
Right.
What about the person who did do it? What about the person who said, "Yes, sir, I'm put my hands on my steering wheel like you told me to do"? What about me? What about me? You see what I'm saying? Because nobody won't speak up for me. They like, oh, you little simp. You gonna do this? You gonna do this? Okay, so what about me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I did that. So this is just showing the hypocrisy of every person that open their mouth and say they come up like Malik Yoba just said something the other day, and he's so right. Like, stop calling me this. Don't call me this. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna call. You
He
seen that,
don't. He
right?
said. Yeah, I seen that. He said he don't identify as a black person.
This is what I've been talking about, and I'm seeing how it's coming full surface where black folks is waking up. Like black folks are seeing things on things that I've been talking about a long time. I'm starting to see them do it, but they just don't know I've been talking about it, right? Because there's no broadcast of things to hear me or anything say these type of things. But this is type of stuff I said I could show you years ago, saying like when black folks weren't even talking about this. It's like, man, like, look at this situation. They see themselves as pure. They see
Right.
themselves as what as pure. Anything other than black, anything other than black see themselves as pure and see us as bad. And that's just it. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's no answer to. There's no other thing. We're pure. We're innocent. We're good. You're bad. You're black. You're bad. You're black. You're bad. That's what it is. That's what happened to me. You're black, you're bad, you're supposed to go through this, you're supposed to be that. You are supposed to shut up. Don't you say nothing because we are good, you are bad. Oh, but
Mm-mm.
no, now we want to say you are not bad. We want to, when it's time when you get national attention, now we want to hop on it. You see what I'm saying? So that's to answer your question. Still, you see, I'm still going along the lines of your question. You
Still, yeah,
realize
you
it?
still are. You
You
still are.
realize it? You
You
realize it
still
now?
are.
I'm
I
still going
realize
along the lines of your question, right?
you are.
These
Yeah.
companies, that be like, oh, we wanna fight for the ones who was unjustly boom, boom, boom,
Right.
right? They looked at our situation as an image. You look
Right.
at my situation as an image, but it's not an image, it's my life.
That's right. That's right.
You're looking at it as a money maker for you. It's not a money maker. It's life. It's a part of community. It's human nature. It's human, like every human
Right.
being, whether you white, black, red, purple, it doesn't matter. Don't treat people like they should be locked up for a crime they didn't commit, and don't take accountability as a just a human man, a human person. That's why like it's just like through this experience in life. Like again, if I die, this video should live on to say like, man, God is good. Like the things
All
that
the time,
and what I
all the
mean, like
time.
he's so much better than good. He's so much better than the word good and great that
Telling you,
he's not even worthy for the words that we're saying. You know what I mean?
amen.
Like
I agree. I agree.
so it's just like it's
Amen.
something that's unexplainable when we look at this evil world, that this world that just wants us to be considered that, like, because if the
Mm.
times we still live in the same times, right? The only
Right.
difference is like the same that we still live in the same times as individuals getting hanged with ropes. We still in the same time.
Right.
So people think we're past it. We're not past it. Like people still, we still get hung with
Racism's still
ropes.
alive.
Yeah, it's just a different rope. It's a different
Just a
rope.
different methods they use.
Yeah, it's the same.
Racism is
The
still
same.
alive. It's just different methods that goes
Yeah,
on now.
yeah. So when we seeing it, it's just like no, and it's not just because people gonna think of it as white people being. Why is white people being down? Why is white people being down about? Because how Caucasians look at it in one way, and it's just like it's not. I'm not targeting Caucasians. This isn't a target of Caucasians. This
Right.
is a target of a
It's some
system.
good. It's some good people in every race. Cause
Oh
just
yeah,
and it's bad in every race too. There's
that's what I
some of
mean.
our brothers that'll come down on us worse than other races.
And that's what I mean. It has nothing to do with Caucasians. This is not what I'm
Right.
speaking.
But I
Caucasians
love
is
my
there. I'm
people. Just to
talking
put it
about
out
them.
there, I love my culture and I love
Yeah,
my people.
yeah. It has nothing to do with that. It has something to do with
Right.
that evil thing, and it's that evil thing that we can't see as well. That's set up that likes to work within people to confuse situations or make situations out to be of what it wasn't really meant to even be. It was meant to be like you asked the question. Would you have been to the NBA? Of course, 100%. I was going to the NBA. I mean, my mentors. I mean, Jalen Rose was one of my coaches. Jalen,
What?
yeah, Jalen was like my, yeah, man. I had too many great of a coaches. I had
Legend.
too many great. I had too many a
Fab
greater
Five.
community. Yeah, I'm from Indiana. I play with some of the greatest basketball. I mean, greatest basketball of nature. Our coaches made us dive on the ground. Like it's inevitable to go to the NBA. Okay, so forget the NBA. Like no disrespect to the NBA, but forget the NBA. Like that was already going to happen. Like there's players that's greater than the NBA too. So like we on a like not dissing the NBA, not dissing the
Mhm.
NBA. I'm only saying that like let's not give so much attention in one way to that. Let's look past the NBA. Let's look
Right.
to like there's players in the NBA that are more greater and their potential is so much greater than the NBA. And they're in the NBA. That's in the NBA. Their potential, they have to go within laws and like their potential is way more greater than the
Basically,
NBA. So
they have to basically in quote unquote dumb their game down a little bit to fit aside a system that a team is going with.
that a system that wants you just to abide by whatever their system is, and that's
Right.
fine. That's
Don't
fine.
be
That's
too
not bad.
flashy. Kind of like a skip to my Lou with all
Right.
of his skill set, but
Exactly.
he can't go out there and do all of that skip to my Lou stuff because it'll go against the system.
Exactly. You might be better than the NBA sometimes. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I feel
Right.
and the NBA is a great, is a profitable organization, got tons of money and the whole
Right.
nine. But sometimes the NBA players will tell you, like, okay, so let me say this last thing, last
Yeah.
final thing. I promise you, last thing.
And,
My
and and we still after your last thing, we still have one more question after you're done.
okay, copy. The my agent that I had, right? When I was in Minnesota, I had to go to Job Corp. That's how much I was trying. I keep trying in life. This is what I'm trying to show is
Never
that
give up. Never
I
give up.
just kept trying and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, without selling drugs, without turning to this, without turning to that. Like my mama would say, without you, she would say she's so proud of me because I did not turn to this, I did not turn to that, I did not turn to
Right.
this, I did not turn to that. And I'm staying myself in this situation, but I'm still growing
Right.
as a man, even though I'm still being respected as a boy. But I'm growing as a man and staying, keeping my integrity, right? um, I ended up going to Job Corps. So when I went to Job Corps, I ended up playing basketball out there, and word got around because I'm kind of out of place now. I should be playing in the NBA, but I'm
Right.
playing in the community now. So I'm in the community,
Right.
and it's just like if Tank Davis or Mike Tyson or somebody or one of the fighters was out here fighting, running phase with people, however you want to call it, right?
Right.
When they supposed to, their
Be
hands
in the
is
ring
licensed.
somewhere.
Yeah, they supposed to be in a ring in the actual environment that they're supposed to be. I'm actually out here playing basketball amongst the community, and everybody in the community now is like, I got so much support in Minnesota. I was getting so much support, and they
Yeah.
were like, Dario, you supposed to be in the NBA. Why are you out here like this? What are you guys? And they just bragging on me.
Yeah.
And they're and I still go through that too, still. And it's just the fact that because eyes haven't seen me, and I
Right.
ended up I ended up having being hurt. This girl that I was working with, she ended up getting hollered at because she had a nice body. She was cold. Boom, boom,
Mhm.
boom. And somebody seen her and was like, "Yo, maybe let me holler at you." He was in town. He played in the NBA. He played for the Minnesota Timberwolves. His name was Jermaine Wilson. So he
Okay.
was playing overseas in China, but he was in
Okay.
town playing on a 15-day contract with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And he was, how NBA players do, right? They all on the town, they spending money, they doing their thing. And he run into her and he's like, "What you been doing?" "I work at Burger King." This. "I know this guy. He work at my job. He play ball and everybody talking about him. His name is Dario Lee." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I think I heard about him," like that. And he heard about me from what she told me. He ended up passing his number to her for their own thing, right? So they can get, what I mean, whatever my guy was on, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
she ended up coming back to me and saying he told me to pass his number to me. So that's how
Okay.
we met. And I got in touch with him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I heard about you, you balling and things like that." And
Mhm.
he was like, "Man, I want to meet with you." He was community. Everybody, like, you hear about this man. He from New Jersey. He from Jersey.
Wow.
His name is Jermaine. Jermaine, and it's a lot of great people from Jersey. It's a lot of people,
Yeah.
even if they had their situations, whatever they do, they some great people from Jersey, man. Every person I've met was some special people from Jersey. But I'm trying to hurry up and finish it. I'm trying to give you the
It's all
whole
right,
thing
man. It's
because it's
cool.
so
Well, listen,
crazy.
man. I told you. I told you today was your day. This is your time.
It's just
So
so crazy though.
I'm
Like,
here to rock out with you, man. So
but I want to pay. I want to respect you too. Like,
it's all
um,
good.
he he literally um um he heard about me. He put me in this tryout to go play ball overseas
Yeah.
because he was like, "Man, I'm hearing about you, this, that, that." So I tried out for the overseas. um, to try to play go overseas. The main coach that see me, they see me like people see me. They see me, and first thing they say, "You scrawny, you whatever. You don't. Oh man, you don't look like you're NBA material." They use their eyes more than their ears. They use
Right.
their eyes and their mouth more than their ears and their brain.
Right. Right.
So, what they've been told. So I come and we have the tryout.
Right.
He was like, "Oh my God, you were more than I expected you to be." He couldn't believe it. So, and which I look at that as hating for me. But Jermaine looked at it as hating for me. Jermaine became my agent. Jermaine was built for me. Is that sometimes some individuals are for you. And
Right.
Jermaine was like, "Nah, he hating on you." And he said, "You
Mm.
know what? I don't even want you to go overseas with them." I got picked for the try. I got picked. He was like, "No."
Wow.
Nah, he was like, "No, no, no, no. I don't even want that because if he gonna say that about you like that, nah." That's how great You see what I'm saying?
I see it.
It's
Yep.
just like some individuals are God sent. And I'm gonna tell you what happened after that. He ended up saying, "We're gonna try the NBA. We going for just for that." I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. He had a better league. I apologize. He had a better league, and this other league called the URBL that was in
Mhm.
San Antonio, Texas. I went to San Antonio, Texas, and I played with Earthquake. Was it Earthquake or 40? Earthquake from the N1 mixtape.
And oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I remember them
Earthquake,
guys.
no,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Earthquake,
yeah.
yeah, Earthquake. Earthquake. If you find out, talk to Earthquake. We played in the URBO in Texas, and it's this other
Mm-hmm.
guy who shot us out and messed our game up. And he wanted. I was always in the back. They always try to overshadow me and keep me in the background.
Yeah.
But I would be the answer to something. That's funny. You say Allen Iverson, the answer to something, right? See how
Yeah.
God. And so when they put the ball for me to put the ball in my hands, we started winning. We was winning. But when they
Yeah.
kept on trying to get me out the way, we started losing, and we ended up
Losing.
losing. We lost. When we lost, because they felt we lost the game, Earthquake came to me. He said, "Man, Dario, man, that first, we only played one game. The league flopped." He
Yeah.
came to me, Earthquake came to me. He said, Dario, man, I wish you had the ball in your hand the whole time. This is coming from somebody that
Wow.
ball, right? He was like, man, every time you gave me the ball, man, we was winning, man, we was this. I wish you would have had the ball in your hand every time. This is what he kept telling. This is what he told me. And I kid you not, that league flopped because
Mm-hmm.
I guess his league before his name was Mac. Mac
Yeah.
league, his league was successful the last league, so that's why I was sent there. So
Yeah.
he was trying to send me to a successful pro league, but this league flopped.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so long story short, I'm trying to really get to the point, the main point.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine, I ended up just going back to Indianapolis. I got back to Indianapolis, and uh, and I was just like, dang. And Jermaine didn't know I was back in Indianapolis, so I was still trying. I'm still trying. Living with my auntie, but I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm going to trying basketball. I'm trying to work jobs. I'm
Yeah.
working. I'm working McDonald's. I'm working wherever I got to work to try
Whatever
to
you
provide
could. Right.
everything, and I'm still
I hear
trying.
that.
And he ended up calling me and was like, yo, man, I did not. Actually, I was working for Chick-fil-A at the time, and he
Mm-hmm.
called me and he said, man, Dario, I didn't know you were back in Indianapolis. I just got off the call, and they told me that you got back to Indianapolis. He said, why don't you let me know this stuff, man? I am so apologized that this happened, this, that, that. And he said, man, like he said, you know what? We gonna make it up to you. I want to make it up to you. I believe in you so much, man. I heard so much stuff about you. We gonna try for the NBA. We going for the NBA. You coming where I'm at.
Ooh.
We going for the NBA. He was just signing. He was playing overseas, so his main league he was playing with was overseas. But he
Yeah.
was coming into town, back into the states, to the United States,
Mm-hmm.
to play for like 15-day contracts with the NBA. So he said we're gonna make it up to you. I want you to go for the Minnesota Timberwolves development league, and we want to
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and move you into the actual league, to the NBA. We're going for
Mm-hmm.
the NBA. So this was my second shot. This is my shot to go to the NBA
Yeah.
again,
Again.
right? Just next thing I know, we getting everything ready, and the coach. I talked to the coach and everything, and we getting ready and all this stuff, and he had to really kind of talk to Jermaine through everything. Everything kind of talked through Jermaine.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I called Jermaine one day, and I hit up Jermaine. I'm like, "Yo, Jermaine, man, I'm gonna be hitting you. I'm gonna hit you up. Oh, I'm sorry. I hit up Jermaine, and his sister picked up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
His sister picked up the phone. I'm like, "Oh, I'm looking for Jermaine. This is Dario. I'm supposed to be getting with Jermaine." And stuff. And she's like, she just started crying, and I was just like, "What happened? What's up?" And she's just like, I don't know if you know how women is, baby. I don't know if
Yeah.
you heard, Jermaine died. He got killed.
Oh man. Rest in
Jermaine got
peace.
killed. Yeah, rest in peace to
Yeah.
Jermaine. Jermaine got killed. Um, Hollering at a girl, talking to a girl in a parking lot. Not on no street, nothing. Not on. This is what I mean. Not on no street, nothing. Just on some jealousy. Somebody was jealous of Jermaine and shot and killed
Wow.
Jermaine. And I look at that situation. I look at it, and my whole world stopped right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they in New Jersey. I looked up on Google and everything. They did a story on him and stuff, and said how he was in the community and how he was murdered and everything. The news did a story on him and everything. But he was my agent. That was my agent, Jermaine Wilson in New Jersey.
Wow.
Excellent person, wonderful guy who sees past. And he told me this. So the reason why I brought this story up is
Yeah.
to come back to what you said, because I don't forget nothing either. I got a very good memory. My
You
little
got. I
cousin,
can tell you got a good memory.
thank you, man. My little cousin, little H. Oh, his name is Horatio Luster. He
Yeah.
know me more than anything. He
Yeah.
know I got a very good memory,
Yeah.
and My coming back to the situation was is that Jermaine, he looked through, he didn't see me. He didn't want to see me as like, oh, yada yada yada, how everybody else want to see me. He wants to see me for what I'm actually, who I actually am. He looks at
Right.
me. And it's just wild, man, when you have something like that happening and he passed away and just everything just all jumbled. Like you just look at everything and I just my whole world stopped. It's just
Yeah.
my whole world stopped at that point, and it was just like I can't get a break, man. I cannot
Right.
get a break. Jermaine initially, and then and then I thought about, and then I also thought about my situation again. And I was telling my family at the time, my mother, I was telling my friend who was around, I'm working on this, I'm working on this. They didn't believe me that I was around. I'm trying to tell them, yo, I'm working on something. You know, the people that's closest to you, you trying to tell them, and they like, whatever, whatever. You ain't doing this. So
Right.
that's what I was working on. And he died. So it made me have to look like even another, however it is. But um, I will just say is that you just you have some special people sometimes who do some things for the community for real reasons because that was a real reason to really help a person um, that was actually in need. And
Right.
I just wanted to just say that about Jermaine. Jermaine
Rest in
really,
peace to Jermaine, man.
yeah, I really wanted to say that.
Rest in peace to
Um,
Jermaine.
yeah, I just had to say that, man. I apologize.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, no, no need to apologize, man. I mean, I appreciate your honesty with everything that you're saying. I appreciate your true feelings that you're expressing, and I appreciate you paying homage to those who tried to help you during your situation.
Man, man, like I see them as so I see them as great. I see them as great individuals like yourself. I see that as great individuals like that because you give a person, you help a person share their story, you help individuals move the truth forward, the actual truth
Right.
forward.
Right.
And it's forces that work against individuals like that as well.
Right.
So I pray for you. I pray for Jermaine. I pray for individuals like myself. We pray for individuals like that because, like, when you got the community actually trying to big up and do things for the community, we were always trying to move forward to move everything. When people think there's nothing going on, you think you don't see nothing going on, but we're moving things ahead. We're actually working on something being profitable. We're working on something being um, for what it's worth. So look at all the things that has happened. Right, I was able to make a track with Bun B, Underground King. Right, Razzcat, Underground, always doing some underground. And I start looking at it, I'm like, man, maybe I'm just meant for the underground. Maybe I'm meant for the greatness of the underground. Right, that track that I did was a rest in peace track for Pimp C. Maybe Pimp C
Wow.
was great. Right, that
Rest in peace
track.
to MC.
Yeah, that track I made was for Pimp C.
Wow.
So they didn't even know, Razzcast didn't know that when he listened to it. He said, I want to get Bun B on it. You see how
Hmm.
God works? It's just
That's
like,
how
so
God works. Yep.
it's just like sometimes them individuals are just meant for what they're meant for. They meant for, I just got to keep it real. Uh, nut riding, dick riding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
That's what they meant for. They're
Mm-hmm.
meant to dick ride anybody who is who look, I got me a little trophy, right? I'm on TV now, right?
Right.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't that's not why you did this interview with me,
Right.
right? You did this interview with me because of what actually is important.
That's
And
right.
that's what we here for.
That's right.
We here for something that's a real problem and a real issue that's going on in the community that's not being heard.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like when you really look at what's really going on, you really look at it, you be like, these folks always want to look at things from the top down.
Right.
It's because they look at themselves as more pure than the
Mm-hmm.
fact of looking at the fact of, Nah, we somebody. We like
Right.
what about like over here? You look at it from this point, and you be like, okay, okay, this makes sense. Okay, wait a minute. They
Mm-hmm.
telling me I ain't worth this, but in fact, I'm a little bit too much worth what I'm giving off to some individuals. I'm trying to be a part of individuals so much that, like you said earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, G, like maybe you ain't even supposed to be around it. Yeah, that's right. I ain't supposed to be around that.
Telling you.
I ain't supposed to be around that. It ain't worth my time. It ain't even worth. It ain't worth like. They ain't even worth it.
That's right.
Cause we supposed to be. We're greater than that. You know what I mean? We're greater than just that. So I think that's maybe the route that the new leaf that I'm kind of like the road that I need to be going that I'm going down. That I don't know nothing about. You know what I mean? So I'm still learning as we move on with this road.
That's right.
We're gonna keep moving on with this road and see where it takes us because I'm gonna just stick with though not what the said to be real. What is
Right.
the actual real? I'm gonna move
Absolutely.
on with the actual real to
Absolutely.
actually put on the way we supposed to be putting on. So
Right. And
I'm grateful for the people, man. I'm grateful for the not the people, but I'm grateful.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna do whatever I can to push this out there. And like you said, hopefully it gets into the
appreciate you.
and hopefully it gets the attention to the
Nah,
right eyes, and not only the right eyes, but the right person who genuinely understands your story and genuinely want to help. You know what I'm saying? And that's
can
the
I
goal.
can I say something too, man? I'm sorry. This last
Go
thing,
ahead,
because I know
bro.
you got the last question.
Go
You know
ahead.
when people say, "I appreciate it,"
Yeah.
thank you, I appreciate it. You hear that a lot today, don't you? You hear
Yeah.
that a lot, right? You hear
Yeah.
people saying that a lot, but do like it becomes like a fad that people say a lot, like in
Yeah.
one way that I don't really think is kind of cool sometimes when you say it all the time and it becomes a fad. It's like, do
Mhm.
you really appreciate somebody when you say that, or are you saying that because you just getting something?
Right.
So I think that's another thing that I'm trying to shed light on as well. Like, is it just like, oh, I'm just getting something, then I'm out the way. Then I ain't messing. I don't even think no more of it like that. No, no, no. Like when we talk about the underground, right? And somebody actually doing something, nah, like you with me for life. And I mean that. So that means you're not just pushing me, I'm pushing you as well. We're pushing each other. And
Appreciate
that's
it.
exactly how when individuals say, oh yeah, yada yada, whatever, blacks don't this, they don't that. No, no, stop talking about blacks.
Right.
We actually are doing that. What's
We are.
happening is we got onlookers. We got individuals that's on looking us and what was going on, and they taking what we do. They want to be like us. They want to be more than us. They want to be this, and
Right.
taking our God nature, our community nature, or whatever, whatever. I'm not saying just Caucasians. I'm
Right.
saying anything other than black,
Right.
anything other than black, or anything other than love. Let's put it that way. Anything other than love, godly love. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And still in that, and running with it and perverting it and not giving homage or paying homage to where it's due. So nah, whatever you say, you like it, I love it. Whatever you say, I'm doing the exact same thing. Yeah, it's the same. Absolutely, and I'm really grateful. I cannot tell you I'm more than grateful. It's not something that you say real quick. Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate you. Bye
Right.
bye. You know what I mean? Thank you. Bye bye.
Right.
No, no.
Now we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this word out there because your story actually deserves to be in a movie. To be honest with you, and I know you did. I know you did the documentary, and I'm going to watch the documentary right after we done with this interview. But this is a movie situation because what happened to you, like I said, is very similar to life, the movie Life. And even though you didn't do as much time, like I said, if it was me, I don't care if it's one day, that one night in that cell for something I did not do will
Mhm.
feel like 40, 50 years. So
Thriller,
imagine 2 months.
Thriller, you know what's so crazy? I'm still going through it because it's still on my criminal history for a crime I did not do.
Mm.
it's still a stain. So, and you're right. Yeah, you're right. Like it's still a stain. Still a stain in my life, and I can't believe man. Yeah, yeah, I was facing. I didn't let you know. Also, I was facing 177 years in prison
Oh damn. Shit. That's crazy, man.
for a crime I didn't commit.
I don't know what's up with
I
that.
hate saying, you say it like that. I think like I want individuals to see me as a person too. I don't want it just to be, you know what I mean? Sometimes I
No,
think
you
that's
all
why
listen.
I went on this talking thing where I start talking because mostly they want you to be like if you've been charged for a crime you didn't commit, they
Yeah,
want you to kind of like be this kind of like person where you're like silent and just like you're and I am I guess I am harmed, but I'm just kind of upset right now where I want to speak on it now because I see the games and the trickery
right.
that comes from my from what happened to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For what happened to me, like a lot of people run from what happened to me. They
Wow.
run. So
Wow.
that's like, oh, you running from what happened to me,
Wow.
and that's the problem. It's like you're running from what happened to me. Like my lawyer, it's so much more. It's so much more to the story, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's just
I
it's
know.
just wild, man.
Listen, you got. Listen, we almost hitting 2 hours. no, no,
Yeah, yeah. Let me shut up. Let me
no,
shut up.
no.
My fault. Thank you.
I'm not rushing you. What I'm saying is, you
Oh
got so
no,
you got so much like to say about what happened that we could you could do a part 2 and 3.
really can,
Word.
it shouldn't be that way. You know what I mean?
Shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. It
Shouldn't be
shouldn't be
that
that
way.
way. You know.
Shouldn't be that way. But you know what?
Last.
I just want to say this to you before I get to the last question.
Yep. That's
I,
fine.
I want you to and I know you know I don't want to make it sound like sometimes when people try to encourage you, some people take it as well. Well, you haven't been in my shoes, so how you know how it feels? I don't know how it feels, but at the same time, I want you you know try your best to even while you're fighting, don't lose yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Right
Yeah.
now, you are in you're a free man, and I totally agree with you fighting. Don't ever stop. Try to get that off your record. I would never tell you to stop, but mentally, you know what I'm saying? I want you to be in a good space if you could. And I know it's just that situation is always going to be there, but I want you to kind of say, you know what? It was unfortunate what happened to me. I know I'm a free man. I mean, excuse me. I know I know I wasn't guilty. You know what I'm saying? They know I'm not guilty, and it's unfair what I'm going through. But at the end of the day, man, there's one thing that's priceless, and that's your health. You're alive. You're
Right.
here. You know what I'm saying? You got all your functions, your limbs, your
Right.
senses. You got everything. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The
Right.
things that we sometimes take for granted. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to wake up and go outside and get fresh air. You know?
Okay. Okay.
You understand what I'm
I
saying?
respect
Don't
that. I respect that. I respect that. Trust me. I've had other people give me advice and tell me to just give up in
never
that.
give up.
Yeah,
Never give
they
up.
have given me. I respect that. I respect that, and I definitely agree, and I definitely for some. No, I don't want to stop real quick.
Okay.
I definitely respect that. There you go. There you go. I was about to see someone me to stop saying. Uh, I respect the way what you said because it is actual love in that, and so I yeah yeah because you're saying like the mindset, and you're right.
Mine.
You're right.
Cause
And it
what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy? Like the biggest the biggest killer is stress, right? And we all go through stresses, but everybody's stresses is different levels. You
right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So as you're fighting, like I said, I just don't want you to lose in touch with your spirituality. Of course not. That's big. Like I see that you're a Christian man. You know, you believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Keep tapping into that Bible. Keep reading them
Yeah,
scriptures. Like you said, you was crucified like Christ. You understand what I'm saying?
I
You was
know, right?
crucified like Christ. So, you know, like, and you got to say to yourself like this, like, what happened to you was so unfortunate, but also say, damn, well, damn, look what they did to Jesus. You understand? He carried the
I
cross. They
know,
killed that man,
I
but he
know.
came back.
That's what I'm saying.
He came
That's what I'm
back.
saying. That's what
So
I'm
now
saying.
this is your time to come back.
I know. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's why it seems like it seems like the spotlight's on me, but I don't think you understand the spotlight's really on you right now because great individuals who actually great media that actually put individuals out there like that. I actually went to junior college. I was telling you at the beginning, I did go to junior college and it was
Mhm.
for radio, television, broadcasting. And a
Wow.
lot of individuals are not doing that. They're not talking about important subjects. A lot of subjects today are not up for the community. It's not really like what are we talking about? You know, we're trying to find. So this I enjoy this. I really appreciate this for real. And I like this. I think this space is how how I think this is how me this is what I learned in school is what I'm trying to get at is that what I learned in school is that we're supposed to be journalism and journalists are reporting the actual news to bring awareness to a situation. So
Absolutely.
publications like yours like that to even do that because this is a form of publication. It's a great
Absolutely.
publication, so it speaks volume to thrifty. I'm sorry, Thrilly.
That's right.
Apologize.
It's all
No,
right. It's all
no,
right.
it's not all right. No, it's not all right. No, it's not all right. Do not let me pass on that.
Mhm.
For Thrilly, for what would the show be like? You know, call. I want to make sure I'm saying it correct. What would your show specifically be called? Is what I'm asking.
Well, you know what? This so funny you said that. This is my very first interview ever.
Oh yeah. See, and but like okay, so I got you. So
So my
with the man
so my
himself, Thrilly.
platform. All right. So my platform. This so on my YouTube is Sir Throwback 23. It's not a show. It's really just me as a vlogger, right?
Got you, got
On
you.
my Instagram is Thrilly Throwbacks. My name is
Okay,
they call me Thrilly. So on my Instagram is Thrilly Throwbacks, and on my Instagram you see I got a huge follow on Instagram. This page right here, as you can see, I'm trying to build
love
up,
it. I love it.
right?
I see.
And
That's
I
why I
love the
reached out to
content.
you because
And
I love your content. When you put things out, I seen it. I was
yeah,
like, yeah, I love his content. He's into the now. He's expressing. He's actually putting it all together. And yeah, I'm
I
just looking at
appreciate
it.
you. I do a little bit of everything. I do a
Yeah,
little stuff. I do a little stuff to make you laugh. I do a little bit of stuff to
yeah.
bring back
And
nostalgia.
that's how I am as a person. Just as a person, man. It's like it's not always oh, this guy got charged for a crime he didn't commit. That's why I
Right,
say they run from me.
right,
Oh, shoot, it's so boo-hoo all the time. No,
right,
no, like, man, I'm a regular person like anybody else. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right,
so yeah, that's why I like it's like, let's just stay in it now.
right.
Like when people say, that's why I say, like, when people be like, oh, you need to move on with your life or this, that, that. Like, I am, that's the whole point
That's the
of
whole
why
point.
I'm talking is because there is something on it to try to hinder me from moving on with my life as a
Hmm.
normal person because I was a normal person because I'm innocent of a crime I didn't commit.
Right.
Like so I don't know how people see it in one way. I guess that's how I see it. But yeah, whatever the last question, man. I don't want to hold you
You ready? You ready? You ready for
longer.
that last
Yes, sir.
question? And
Yes,
the
sir.
last question is going to flow so beautifully because this it's just perfect. So the very
Absolutely.
last question is this: what kind of words of encouragement can you give to all the young aspiring athletes out there in the world today? Your
All right,
last words of encouragement.
I wrote this down. I wrote something down. Is it all right if I read it straight off?
Read it straight up.
This is the best that I can say it, and I'll say it like this. If I'll look right into the camera and say it to the youth. Um, what's up? My name is Dario Antoine Lee. I was a basketball player. I was just like you. I had Jordan hanging up posters on my wall. I did my thing. I chased girls in school. I had pep rallies. I had fun with the fellas, with my guys in high school. I live no different than you, even though I got grades now. We had fun, right? As you should, as you should. Understand your love for basketball. You can have a dream. You can actually do that. You can actually play in the NBA. You're not crazy. No, any person, any friend that tell you can't is a liar. You can actually, it's a profession. You can actually play in the NBA. I know you probably feel like I didn't. I was charged for a crime I didn't commit. I made some decisions that I didn't like that I made as well. But I will say this to you: basketball isn't just a game. It is not just a game. It's about discipline, character, and faith. Don't waste your time trying to impress the wrong crowds, acting tough, or chasing reputations that leads to nowhere. Life will challenge you. If you look at this whole video, or if really chop it up, life will challenge. Life is going to challenge you. Look at what happened to me, right? So life will challenge you. But remember, everyone is fighting their own battles. Stay focused, stay humble, and always lead with respect. Put God first in everything you do. Let Him guide your path, and trust His timing is perfect. It's perfect. It's gonna be is he's a working, he's a God working, he's a work. The same thing the older elderly folks said, he's an on time God. Yes, he is. Time is God.
Right.
It's a work. It's a working process. Success on and off the court. God's success on and off the court comes when you stay dedicated, work hard, and keep your faith strong. Keep pushing forward, trust the process, and know if you put in the work and stay true to yourself, everything will fall into place. And if it hold on. And if it don't, then you looking at me. You looking at me. That's the area where I'm at right now. So let you have to let God just lead you. So it's a life that, I was derailed in life, but that derailment may be for a good reason. So stay blessed, stay focused, and keep God at the center of it all. And that's all I got to say right there. That's all I got to say.
Amen. Amen. I just want to clap it up
Amen.
for you, man.
Nah, man, clap. Hey, same. Hey, and
Clap it
be
up for
great.
you, man. That
Be
was
great
that.
to people. Don't joke people all the time, man. Like, like take it serious. You may not see it. It may not have happened to you yet, or it may not have happened to you. But understand, it's happening to somebody else, and it's something that happens down the line. So take it serious. Take it extremely serious. So be a good person, like my man Thrilly right now. Be a great human being. Be a great human being. Serious.
Appreciate you, man. I just want to say, man. Listen, man. Your story is serious. It's something that a lot of people can learn from. Um, and I respect you because, like you said, you still fighting. And like I said, I never want you to stop fighting. And if there's anything I can do to help get the word out there, you know
I
I'm going to do
appreciate it.
it.
I appreciate this is you doing it right now. So yeah, you're doing it right as we
Oh,
speak.
I'm not. This is just the beginning. I like you
Yes.
said, I'm gonna chop everything up and I'm gonna put it on my other platforms that got more eyes, and we're gonna really get it out there, man.
However you do it, I trust the process. Like we said, like I just told the youth, I trust the process. So
Absolutely. So we good. Anything else you want to say?
oh,
Or we
we are
straight?
great. Oh, we are great, man. I'm so blessed, man. Either way, man. Thank you so much, man.
Shout
Thank
out to
you so
you,
much.
man. Shout out to you. And listen, if you're not
What
subscribed to
is
the channel, please subscribe now. We're trying to get this YouTube channel up. And just do that. Is there any do you want to tell them your platform that they can subscribe to as well or
Oh
follow?
yeah. Oh man, I appreciate it. You can follow me on Instagram at Lee Dario. And also you can check out more information on me on YouTube, and Lee Dario, or just Google my name, Dario Antoine Lee. Yeah, just Google me. I don't know. All of my high horse Google me, like, but yeah.
Google that man. Google
Yeah,
him.
just Google, man, and support more than anything. Just share, like, subscribe, share, and put the word out. Put the word out. Individuals need to know, and I got more information. Trust me, this is
And
not.
make sure y'all go see his documentary on. It's on. You said it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. It's Black and Blue. There's a segment of me in the story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Black and Blue. It's on Amazon Prime.
And you're gonna send me
Directed.
that. You're gonna send me
Yeah,
the
I
link,
will.
right?
Yup, yup. It's directed by Dylan Avery. Black and Blue.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna check that out. So make sure y'all go see that, and make sure y'all follow his platforms and follow
Thank
this
you very much.
platform as well. We out.
Thank you so much, man. One. Talk to you.
One, love.